And a wonderful afternoon to all of you out there, wherever you are. I am Benjamin of football. Your one-stop place for all updates, analysis, live social media reactions, some banter here and there, talking Premier League, talking La Liga, talking Serie A, the Bundesliga, the leagues across Africa, placing the spotlight on Ghanaian players. That's what we do. The Premier League started on Friday night and it's been cracking since. How are you feeling about your club? 0549 986 996 0549 986 996. Yesterday I was live here with Bernard Abeku, no, not Bernard, Gabi Ofair, Coach Christopher Nimley, and Manuel Kwache for 3 hours. It's pretty interesting. Today, Adam Kai and Yaminta are here. Already the Ghanaian brothers are lighting up the Premier League. Antoine Semenyo on opening day, he had to go through it all. Didn't matter to him. I love how the narrative around him is going. People becoming more aware to his talent, his ball carrying prowess, ability to use both feet. And then Kudus Mohammed said, "Hold my beer." 2 similar assists. Getting Richarlison to score probably one of the best goals of the season so far. I know it's early days yet, but the game with 1 goals have been wow. Yeah, just wow. Like I said, we are live on the YouTube at City Sports GH. Also be live on Channel 1 TV's YouTube channel. We're live on 97.3 City FM. We're live on X or Twitter at City 97.3. And we are live on Channel 1 TV as well. Yeah, Adam, what's going on?
Cool things.
It's football is back, so like that's the
feel.
Yeah, that's the highlight of the season. When we're coming to do Panorama on Friday and the Liverpool game was about to start, Gavi kind of like screamed it in here, and like the feeling came back. So like, yeah, it's just an exciting weekend, just taking in most of the games so far, and it's exciting stuff. Our Ghanaian brothers are doing us proud out there.
Ghanaian brothers doing us proud. Yeah, we have a big game today. There's a big game happening, but you've been observing the Ghanaian brothers, the Liverpool unfolding. I could talk about Sunderland and what they were doing yesterday. West Ham United and Graham Potter. I don't know, it's early days, but I can see the writing on the wall. I don't know what you've been making of all of it. Just initial thoughts before we even get into the details proper.
Oh yeah, initial thoughts. Week 1 had everything. I mean, and look, if I'm a marketing manager or a salesperson and I want to go pitch the product of the EPL to a prospective sponsor, I mean, I would just use week 1 as a sample. Just observe what happened in week 1. I mean, week 1, you had everything. You had the goals. Yeah. You look at Antoine Semenyo's goal against Liverpool. You look at Richarlison's second goal. Even today, look, Chris Wood, the goal that he scored for Nottingham Forest's third goal. Yeah. And we are watching the second half. It's 3-0 for Nottingham Forest against Brentford. And Chris Wood has 2 goals. And the second goal was very, very well played through and very well wigged. And so, yeah, you have the goals. The quality of the goals were on point. Then you had controversial decisions with that Liverpool Bournemouth game where, a Bournemouth defender clearly handled the ball, and there was a bit of a discussion whether he should have been sent off. VAR came in, bit of a weird interpretation. Those things came up.
Yeah.
Then even now with the Chelsea and Crystal Palace game, Eberechi Eze scored a hammer of a goal, but it got disallowed because apparently there was a bit too much movement in the wall, and it became more or less like an indirect kick. Some interpretations.
No, apparently what they said was I think the distance wasn't the accurate distance. So
but players cheat on the distance all the time.
So it became more or less like, so it became a disallowed goal.
Yeah.
And so controversies, all of those things. And look, this will be in the news for a while. And from a marketing perspective, there's nothing like bad news.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, good news, bad news, it still puts your name out there. But it's just that you don't want it to be associated with
that's how you manage it.
It's just how you manage it. You don't want to be associated with it for a long time. So the Antoine Semenyo issue that came up with the racism bit, look, it will come up for in discussion for a very long time. And it pretty much summed up everything that we've had in week one from the EPL. We've had goals, we've had good games, we've had controversies, controversial decisions, and we've had pretty much a scandal, more or less. A scandal just in week one. And this is just week one. The biggest match of the week hasn't even been played between Man United and Arsenal. And we've already had all these storylines, all these narratives come up. And so it just shows you that football is back, and there's just something about the EPL that it's a major draw. There's always something that will come up, even when it's on just your regular day at the office. Something different, something eye-catching, something eye-popping will come up, and it will generate massive interest and massive following in the EPL, and that's what it's all about.
I ran across a content creator's content, and he's a Nigerian content creator. I have big respect for him. He's absolutely obsessed with Kudus. So he turned this whole Kudus and Semenyo performance into an agenda. He says he cannot believe for the life of him that Ghana can have access to a player of Semenyo's quality doing that type of stuff against Liverpool on opening day, have access to a player of Kudus's quality, and some way somehow managed to miss out on the AFCON. He flatly said that in his opinion, Kudus and Semenyo are the best winger pair in Africa. You can go and argue with whoever you think. He says that nobody can convince him that there's a better winger pair on the continent with either an Egypt, Algeria, Senegal. He's Nigerian. He says that's
an argument.
He says we have better players than the Super Eagles. Those two guys are good enough to have propelled us. Some way, somehow we made. And I think he makes a fantastic point.
I'm trying to think of Ivorian.
Exactly.
I'm trying to think of an Ivorian.
What would do typically? Maybe a Nicolas Pepe, Simon Adingra. They still play Max Gradel. Come on, bro.
No, but Max Gradel has retired. After the last one,
but the last
with
exactly.
the AFCON, I think
I understand him,
but he was coming off the bench.
But if you think about it,
and I think Senegal also have quite a number of talented wingers in there.
But they are not big time. Like they are not an
Senegal.
AFC Bournemouth scoring against Liverpool type wingers. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, what? Well,
you can think
You
about
probably find one, but like us and a pair. And it's at the same time.
I have to go through the Ivorian squad, but I think Ivory Coast would definitely have.
Ivory Coast
I think Ivory Coast will have a pair of wingers that meet that standard.
But either ways, I think he has a strong argument.
Very strong.
That's a strong argument.
I was just talking
But
about.
at the end of the day, I mean that bit of info that he put out there, it just summed up how bad things were when it came to the 2025 AFCON campaign. It was just bad. It looked like Otuado was out of his skis. He was over. It was over his skis. He just couldn't find that consistent touch to be able to do it. Because look, at the end of the day, he came in at short notice, helped Ghana to qualify to the World Cup. Then his weaknesses got exposed at the tournament. That was at the international stage.
Yeah.
Africa playing on their continent is different from playing in the World Cup. And playing in the AFCON further exposed his weaknesses, as in the way he will manage the situation off the pitch, captaincy issue and all, and the fact that you just can't use only skill to win games in Africa, because pretty much all the players on the continent are skilled.
Yep.
Though, yes, we played against the likes of Niger and Sudan, and they are not as skilled as most of our players.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they brought that physical edge and intensity, and their mentality was sharp, and that's what got them to be able to get the best, pretty much the best out, get better than us in terms of points accumulation or point tally. And so for me, yeah, it's just how we approach that AFCON. I think we first of all we approach it from a complacent point of view, and again we were still reeling from the appointment of Otuado because no one saw that coming, and so players had to reject themselves. And by the time we got to fully understand the gravity of the situation, we were in a very big hole, and it was very difficult for us to climb out of, and eventually we missed out on conference.
As for me, shout outs to Otuado wherever he is, Otto Terzic, the guy who says that he consults with Terzic and Co. So Ghanaian journalists shouldn't stress him out.
And Klopp too.
Yeah, he says he consults with Terzic and Klopp, so Ghanaian journalists shouldn't stress him out. Anyway, my biggest takeaway from that whole rant was that nobody should tell us that we don't have players who are good enough. That's just my end.
That's one of the things that I said, like I was referring to when it comes to Otuado being over his skis, in the sense that, look, how can you make such a statement? Like
I don't want to get into
the fact that you missed out on picking up a couple of points does not mean that you should go to that extent.
He was under pressure, so he was talking.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you've missed out on racking some points, and you're under pressure, but that's a no-go area. Like, Ghana is a country where you cannot simply blame talent.
Yeah, and it's almost like you don't think the people are of a certain football intellect. Don't do that.
If there's a problem with our national teams, then and it comes to quality, it's not overall quality, but the selection of the players. That's where there's a problem, and that's where you as a coach, you also have a role comes in. So if you cannot pick the right players, then your ability is also questionable.
Yeah, because what you are saying about our pool is we have a great pool of players. I think if you take out the Montari ACN era, like this pool of players aren't bad either, and I feel like this pool is much wider.
It's just because we have underachieved, we think they are not good.
Because I think they are really talented players in the pool. We just have a problem with selecting the right sets to balance them out in the team. So that's just it for me.
Let me get to our YouTube community. Shout out to the YouTube community. You guys streaming out there from wherever you are watching us, listening from wherever you are. Calvin Asari says, in Ketia, why are you in an Arsenal shirt? My friend, go and wear a Liverpool shirt. Well,
but that's not about to play.
Yeah, I don't mind him. I'm a Premier League ambassador. Don't do that. This one here, somebody sending a very interesting message. I'll read it out. Newtown Comics is the name. He says, to be honest with you people, this program is better than the Talk Sports coverage for me, because the Channel 1 coverage doesn't get to tackle and swim. So somebody's getting his advantage out of this.
That is one of
and I think this gets a global reach as well because of YouTube. People can watch you from basically wherever they are, wherever in the world. So that's great as well. Thanks to you guys for tuning in. Nimsen Amwa says, West Ham spoiled my bet. You are betting and you are betting on West Ham. It's up to you yourself. Anyway, let me get more. Abdul Malik says, we are live. Yes, indeed we are. I'll get to my message box in a bit, but that's 0549 986 996 0549 986 996. You are just chancing upon the Republic of Football. It's going to be a thing from now on, so just get comfortable, pick a drink somewhere, get some popcorn, and let's get into it. Let me get into lineups of the games that are happening before we get into a review of the matches that happened yesterday, because people are observing the games happening right now. So happening right now live, we have Chelsea versus Crystal Palace. So just for those of you who are joining us at whatever time it is. Let me have the starting lineups. We'll have the lineups of Chelsea versus Palace on the screens, just so you can have a good sense of who is playing and who isn't. Chelsea have lined up in a 4-2-3-1 system. 4-2-3-1 is how Chelsea have lined up. When you look at the names on the sheet, Robert Sanchez is in post. I thought he'd be gone by now, or at least relegated to the bench. It hasn't happened. Reece James is playing a right back today. Good to see Reece James starting on opening day. Josh Achampong.
For the captain's armband.
Yeah, Charlie. Josh Achampong. I will let Yao touch on Josh Achampong. I think he dipped his feet into the water last season with a few performances. He's gotten a starting berth. I don't know what that means for Chelsea, if it's a show of faith, if it's a lack of options. I don't know. We'll get into that in a bit, but he's out there with Trevor Chalobah and Mark Cucurella. And then in the anchor positions, you have Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo. Palmer, Pedro Neto. It looks like Jamie Gittins has had to come out of the game.
He's been replaced with Estevao.
So Estevao's in, the Brazilian from Palmeiras, I believe. Did pretty well at the Club World Cup. Looks like he's also getting his opportunity here. Chelsea Premier League debut. That would be interesting to chat about. Joao Pedro is leading the line. It's goalless currently between Chelsea and Palace. So that's also something worth noting. Let me get your thoughts on the lineups there, before I even get into the Palace lineup. Chelsea look like a brand new team. Enzo Maresca has been speaking very harshly about the players he doesn't want to work with. There are some people who say that while it's cool to be ruthless as a manager, he also needs to treat people like humans, and he needs to be careful how he deals with some of these things. But this is his lineup for opening day. What do you make of it?
You need to be careful how you treat humans, but in this world of ours, especially when it comes to how managers are treated and viewed, if a manager goes down this path, I understand, because the level of pressure or amount of pressure on them to deliver is absolutely insane, and especially when they need to clear out some players before they can really make some signings in there, because this squad, the squad that they have is already quite big enough. And so if they want to bring in a centre back, at least one centre back, which I'm sure they want to do and have reportedly stated so, they need to get rid of some players in there. And if those players aren't necessarily trying to help the situation by lowering their wages to ensure that that move is facilitated, it will get to a point that the frustration will get to the manager, who is dealing with that and has to deal with the tactics, the man management of the squad that are pretty much settled. And so it makes life a bit difficult for these individuals, and sometimes the frustration, I believe, slips through when they speak in these press conferences, and that's how come you find them sometimes uttering these harsh words. If he's not the only one, and that's why I honestly believe that it's not an Enzo Maresca thing, but it's more or less a managerial thing, and it's a 21st century football thing, particularly with the top 5 leagues in the world, in Europe. Because have you not heard and seen Pep Guardiola do same? Even Ruben Amorim, who doesn't even have that much cachet at Man United or in the English Premier League. Listen to some of the things that he said about Sancho, about Alejandro Garnacho, all of these guys. So it just tells me that it's not that these individuals are bad people necessarily or are heartless, but it gets to a point where they are dealing with so much. The frustration is a bit very high, and expectations are high as well. Expectations are high, and it just slips. So for me, I wouldn't be too harsh on Enzo Maresca. But with the only surprise I have with the selection, with the starting lineup, is the inclusion of Josh Achampong. I mean, the guy is 18 years on his way to being 19 years. and he's starting, like you rightly put it, your preamble. I think it's a show of confidence. It's a show of confidence and a lack of trust in the other guys that he has on the roster, because Badiashile is not too good with the ball at his feet. Disasi the same. Wesley Fofana is very good, but can't stay fit. And so if you are trying to build on something that is stable to be able to challenge for the EPL title, he's not someone that you can necessarily rely on. And so when you look at someone like Josh Achampong, he's young, he's fresh, athletic, he's quite good with the ball at his feet, and he's able to run with the ball, move the ball vertically, and help push the opposing team backwards and pin them in their own half, and help out with the passing out from the back, building up from the back, maintaining possession and all. There's sound reason to believe why they will go in for him. And also there's a plus that he's English. You always want to give the young talent as much possibility as possible in terms of playing time. And so that's how I see it. There's a lack of trust in the option, in the options that they have, because if that is not the case, there's no way Joshua Champon, as good as he is, should be starting ahead of players who have received call-ups to the French national team. It's just that's the reality.
But also, let me just give you an update on those who are missing out. So they have their centre backs are pretty injured. I'm just noticing. So Tosin has a knock according to the injury list. Levi Cole has a crucial ligament.
He's going for like 7, 8.
Romeo Lavia injured as always. And then there's Benoit Badiashile. They say he has a muscle injury, but I feel like Badiashile especially went from being highly hailed on every level to everybody just basically believing he was a bum overnight. I don't know what happened to him, but that was.
I think it's just a couple of bad performances that did that to him. I think when he came in, he didn't start on a bad note, but it got to a point the performances were consistently bad. So after points like that, if you're performing at that level in this league, I don't think anybody's going to look at you and rate you. But he came in with a reputation. That's just the unfortunate thing. But I think I was largely right. It just shows that as much as they spend on this talent and they have these options in the team, like the coach doesn't trust them that much to go for the youngster, because I've seen him play. I saw him play a couple of Conference League games last season, and he was really, really solid in those games. He barely put the foot wrong in those games, and obviously the level of the Conference League is not as high as the Europa League or the Champions League, but it's a good starting point for youngsters in and around his age, and he performed quite well. So in a situation like this where they are looking for some sort of quality, like some specific quality, because Maresca is very specific about some of the things he wants for his centre backs, because of how he wants to build up from the back and how he wants his team to play, and Josh can provide that. So I'm sure he's just giving him the nod to show him that, we believe in your talent. And Chelsea largely get stick for not trusting their youth. They have a good academy.
They have one of the best academies in England.
And they produce a lot of talents that go to other clubs, but most of them don't seem to find a pathway into their first team. So it's just nice to see them try out one of their talented players.
I have a theory that a lot of players who teams let go to other teams are good enough to play in their own teams if they just have enough patience and guidance for them.
That's true.
I mean, sometimes you just need to trust the players just a tad little, but it just happens that a lot of them don't feel like they have the time. Managers feel like they need to buy big. But one of Maresca's big sticking points actually when he was at Manchester City was his ability to work with youngsters. So a lot of the new age players coming out of Manchester City right now, McCarthy, Cole Palmer,
Rico Lewis,
all came under his tutorship, so his tutelage. So I think he's a pretty decent,
and it shows in the signing that they made recently when it comes to the back line. Going in for the Ajax chap, Joe Hato. 19 years old.
Perfect sense.
19 years old. He's played at the top level for almost 2.5 years, and so it's not like a green like Josh Achampo, who is coming in from the academy.
He's played some decent
first team football, played in Champions League and all, and so. If Josh Achampon performs and he does well, and Hato comes in, makes some very good cameos, and the options that are on the bench or aren't available due to injury don't pick up the shift, then I wouldn't be surprised if you have Hato and Josh Achampong starting in that centre back position with Reece James and Kukureya being the experienced pros out wide and those youngsters man in the middle.
Because I'm just peeping the bench right now. Philip Jorgensen, Joel Hato, like we said, left back, centre back can play. Malo Gusto right back. Wesley Fofana's on the bench.
Yes,
and he's fit. He can play. I heard Maresca speak about him. I think that's even where I concluded that this guy might be a little harsh. You know, somebody asked about if Wesley Fofana and Badiashile were good enough to continue playing for the club, and he says that when they play, the level they are at is not satisfactory for him, and you can see it with Wesley Fofana on the bench. They have Dario Sugo and Andre Santos, Liam Delap, and Tyreek George. Tyreek George is coming from the academy,
like
we said,
but he's a midfielder too. So just like the others, he's midfield. And with satisfactory in terms of performances, I mean it's not surprising because Wesley how many players do you know come out from a broken foot? There's a broken leg, multiple ligament injuries, and they come back into first team action and they start performing like they were. It's very difficult to find such a player or players. And so when he comes in and he's not giving that kind of satisfactory performance, I'm not surprised, especially when it came to last season, because Chelsea, got the time Fofana came back, they were under pressure because they are slipped from we are not title contenders when they were second to sixth, and they were under pressure. And so that's why Maresca, like I said, that's why Maresca will go like, you know what, his performance is very satisfactory, so I'll put in this guy on the side of the window.
And he has momentum now for winning a cup.
Because he was chasing winning the Conference League title. He was chasing qualification to the Champions League.
Yeah.
And there was no patience to be dilly-dallying with the performance of Fofana. He brought in Josh Achampong, and like Adam said, in the Conference League, he was good. And he helped them qualify to the final. And so why would you go back to Wesley Fofana when he had made or he had gained enough momentum and they were going to play in the Club World Cup? They went there, won it without him, and so there's absolutely no reason to get him back into the team now.
This is how a team can bypass you even when you are on the star player level type contract. Very interesting. Anyway, let me not dwell too much on that. I like the Chelsea bench anyway. To be honest, all of a sudden the project is beginning to make a little more sense to me.
And to add to what you said, making a little sense. Winning the Club World Cup kind of validates his decisions now, because when he came in first, everybody's looking at him like, oh,
why are you ostracizing?
Why are you doing this? What is there to show for you taking these decisions? You are not a manager with this reputation. Now he's won the Conference League, he's won the Club World Cup. So now when he's taking decisions, you can back him because he's won things, and you can see that if you give him the chance to make his own decisions, it's a come good. So
and he's pretty much living up to the reputation of every elite manager. There's always a level of ruthlessness about them. Even the lovable Carlo Ancelotti, even him, he has a certain level of
ruthless towards youngsters. He does not want to see a youngster until he absolutely has no option.
Even those lovable coaches, they also have some level of ruthlessness to them. I don't know if you are familiar with Andy Reid, the head coach of Kansas City Chiefs in the NFL. Look at him, lovely guy, affable guy, always hanging around, laughing and all. But he has a rule. He does not speak to rookies directly. He lets his assistant coaches speak to rookies. So if you are a rookie on the defensive side, he'll talk to you.
No, bro.
He'll talk to the defensive coach or the defensive coordinator. Go and talk to this boy that he's messing up on this side. If you're on the offensive side, he'll talk to the offensive coordinator. Go talk to your boy to do this because he's messing up my offense. As a rookie, he won't talk to you directly because if he has this rule that you have to earn your way to get him to the level that he will have to come directly to you. Once you're a rookie, no matter how good you are, he's not talking to you.
You know, this is crazy because I remember, just funny, right? Off the top of my head, coaches who come off as nice guys, Jurgen Klopp, ruthless, has ostracized a lot of guys to the bench a lot of times. Guy who comes off as a nice guy, Ronald Koeman. Remember this guy, Nias?
What he did to Nias?
Yeah, he says he literally came to work one day and he didn't have a locker anymore. Why didn't he have a locker? Koeman says he has been relegated to go and train with the reserve team. And he didn't have the dignity to tell him. He says he approached the manager personally, and the manager says he has nothing else to say to him. Rafa Benitez, another guy who comes off as very nice and innocent on the outside, you know, glasses wearing, guy comes over. He's ruthless as hell. He will just stick you at the end of the bench and never ever speak to you.
And he won't even be giving you explanations.
Yep.
He's that other guy.
And his slot, and his slot is doing it to Wataru Endo right now. Wataru Endo is good enough to be Liverpool's starting DM. You can quote me on any day on this. He's good enough, but some way somehow the manager doesn't like him enough.
It's very, very specific things about his game.
He's not playing.
Let's not even talk about Mourinho and Alex Ferguson and those guys, because they are ruthless. So it has to get to a point where Pep Guardiola, it has to come to a point where you have to embrace it, because it comes with it. If you want to be elite as a manager, you have to be ruthless. And so I think, that's where Enzo Maresca is aiming at. And so he has to follow pretty much the template and the script.
Every time I remember Maresca, I just remember that celebration on the bench. Chelsea were up by 2-0 in the club. Like, it's just funny, man. That image just lives rent free.
He has fed us for years.
Oh, man. Anyway, Crystal Palace are doing a 3-4-2-1 system today. When you look at the system that they have going on, Dean Henderson is in post for them. He has started winning things with Palace, so I'm sure he's very happy to be on this side. They have a 3-back system made up of Chris Richards, Maxence Lacroix, and Maguire. Maguire must be sick of playing for Palace. Anyway, Tariq Mitchell is at left wing back today with Will Hughes. I think Will Hughes has been substituted. I will just pick out, I think Jefferson Lerma has come on for Will Hughes. They have Adam Wharton and Daniel Munoz. My guy Daniel Munoz, fantastic right wing back. Ismail Assar, who's been on a tear recently. Aberechi Eze, who can always do the unexpected, and then Jean-Philippe Mateta, a guy who is becoming more attractive to prospective clubs as he's getting older. Very interesting striker. Just quick thoughts on that, and I'll take Adam's thoughts on the lineup as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, you can go to bed for, let's say, 3 months, get out of bed, maybe out of coma, and pretty much name the starting lineup for Crystal Palace, because you know this is the level of quality they have. Members, who they will select. You know the members that will make the starting lineup, and I just love the way Oliver Glasner has gone about getting this team to more or less over deliver or outperform what is expected of them. Because when you put together a team that was the proper definition of middling, and you get them to be able to play the way they are playing, and in recent months or in recent weeks,
in fact, they have started flirting with relegation multiple times before he came in,
and in recent months and in recent weeks win 2 titles at the top level. Then you know that you are doing something well.
For context, Palace had won no major trophies before these last 2.
No major trophies. And the fact, and beyond that, you are getting the individuals to play above and beyond themselves. Because, like you mentioned, Mateta, look, coach used to clown Mateta.
Mateta was nobody before
all the time. We used to clown Mateta all the time, like Mateta. What is Mateta?
He was literally nobody before Glasner, right?
Exactly. Now you see he being quoted by several clubs, at least per the reports. You look at Aberechi Eze. You look at Adam Wharton. Look at Adam Wharton, for instance. He's one guy who is on the bubble of becoming more or less the England number 1, because looking at the way Kobe Mainoo's performance have fluctuated, I see Adam Wharton ahead of Kobe Mainoo in the pecking order when it comes to England. You look at Dean Henderson. Now more or less he's like the England number 1. He's more or less like the England number 1 or number 2, behind the Everton goalkeeper. Jordan Pickford. He's more or less like the England number 2. He surpassed Nick Pope on when it comes to the pecking order. So for me, the fact that he's been able to get them to collectively play well, win trophies, and individually elevate their game, it just tells me how good a job that he has done. And in the lead up to this season, I wrote a little piece, and he and Andoni Raiola are my picks who are on the bubble. Let's say to make the jump to coach a top 16 if a vacancy pops up, because if they're able to do well as they did last season, that means you have some solid sample size that you can tap from and be able to use as an argument.
To be honest, his resume is rich enough for a big club.
Yeah, I mean, he's won the Europa League with Frankfurt.
Exactly, there are people coaching bigger clubs with a lighter resume.
I say if something happens at Newcastle this season, for Eddie Howe, Glasner comes in.
Very possible.
Yeah, and looking at the way they are holding onto Chelsea's fight, I mean, 76 minutes.
They've been frustrating Chelsea.
Yeah, but what's going on? You know, the funny thing
is goalless.
No, but real talk is Crystal Palace have turned a corner for a minute. Like from the closing stages of last season, they just went on this surge where that led them to the FA Cup final, won the FA Cup final, won the Community Shield, and they've not slowed down since. And I mean, this is a London type of rivalry, West London, South London. This game means a lot to them in a lot of ways, and for them to have players who are being openly courted.
And Maguire too.
Yep.
Yeah, and they're starting the game.
Maguire being openly caught. Probably negotiating a deal with Liverpool as we speak. Eze probably negotiating with Spurs.
Eze is kind of on the Tottenham deal is kind of it's looking clearer.
Adam Wharton, Mateta. If he continues to play this way or play well since he moved over to England, Lacroix will be another one to look out for.
Big money move.
Yeah, because he's French and he's 6'3".
Yeah, very quick,
very pacey, very powerful. Can play in the back three, which is in vogue now. Yeah. Pretty much about half of the managers in the league are playing with the back three. Yeah, you'll definitely be courted by a lot of teams. And looking at what they are producing out on the pitch, I'm not surprised that they are holding Chelsea to a very frustrating goalless draw. 77 minutes?
That's crazy. Chelsea headed for Chelsea swore that they were going to hit the ground running,
but they've had to take Jean Pedro off to bring the laugh in already.
Let's see how that goes. Let me get to my message box and read some of your messages coming through from those of you who are listening to us on radio. I'm not sure if some of you guys are watching us on TV as well, but let us know. Halilu from Kaswa, Liberia, comes says, "Good afternoon, guys. I'm enjoying the show from a 15-meter height on a warehouse roof in Kaswa, Liberia. What are you doing there? Please be safe. Why? Anyway, Chelsea, please, Aston Villa and Old Castle have cancelled 3 of my slips yesterday." Say Old Castle. Says, "Do me a favor. You are my darling club. Go Chelsea." Ayuba Halilu with that one. Ken Charles says that Arsenal winning by 2-0 today. The Mask Man and Nelly doing the job. So that's Victor Yokeres you're talking about. Let's go down. Nene Pupulampu from Dakoman says, with the new World BBC upfront in United promising a minimum of 60 goals, trust me, it's season 21. Go Man United. Hey, Charlie, it says 60 goals.
Which one be the BBC?
No, Benjamin Sesko, Ryan Mbeumo.
Charlie.
BBC.
Hey, Charlie, I didn't know we have the BBC. I know is Benzema.
You see,
Benzema. So now
football fans never learn. I always say that acronyms and one name taglines are for legends. Like, you don't do this for unproven players. Like, you haven't done anything. You started giving yourself.
So right now, if I say Jordan, you already know who I'm referring to.
They did a 3P2.
You see, like Cristiano, like Ronaldo, CR7. Like how do you call this guy? R9. You can do that, like that type of thing.
Yeah, that's what
don't do this. Like somebody said something like the last time. I was so shocked. I was upset when he translated. He said KDH, and I was like, "What's going on? Who is KDH?" I'm like, I was confused for like almost 30 seconds. He says Kenan Dewsbury. I said, "Don't do this again." My brother, that's what I'm saying. Like this type of stuff is legendary status. KDH, and I was like scratching my head. I'm like, oh, is it that I haven't eaten today? And then, like,
You know you were lost for a minute.
Bro, he said Kenan Dewsbury Hall. I'm like, why will you do this?
It's
Like,
KDB.
what has he done to merit you? Like his full name has not even gotten out there enough.
Oh no.
Do this.
For instance, when I say Torres, I'm not referring to Ferran Torres. Can't
But
be.
I'll say Ferran Torres.
Can't be. I will say Ferran Torres. But when I say Torres, you know what I'm talking about. Fernando Torres.
Yes, do that. Ah man, football fans. Anyway, the big game.
No, the KDH thing.
No, it has to be I thought you were.
The KDH thing is hilarious. KDH.
Listen for the play. He said a car from Nansoma says CC Sports team today. NPP will dismantle Crystal Palace. NPP, Neto, Palmer, and Pedro. This is what I'm talking about.
Do not do that.
This is the type of misbehavior that I'm talking about. What do you mean? And Pedro.
Nah.
Oh my.
Don't do that.
KDH. Charlie.
No, but that really got me. KDH.
Why would you do that?
KDH.
Kenan Dewsbury Hall. Really? Guys, like, let's not be doing this.
But just a quick one on the Nottingham Forest game. Brentford have pulled a goal back. But I've just seen a substitution and involving a player. Igor Jesus. He played in the Club World Cup, I believe, for Botafogo.
Yep.
Very good player. And the player he replaced, I mean, I look at the profile of the player he replaced. That's Ndoye. He plays for Switzerland.
I think on that note we can have the lineups for the Forest and Brentford games displayed on the screens. Go on.
Yeah. And Ndoye, he plays for Switzerland, the Swiss national team, and he's quite pacey and pretty much a direct replacement for Anthony Langa, who they sold to Newcastle. And so they're pretty much rolling out the same template that got them to success, a very successful season last season, albeit with some help from the off the court litigation issues. So now, instead of playing in the Conference League, they are going to play in the Europa League because of the issues concerning Crystal Palace and their registration issues and all. And so, Nottingham Forest, I love what they've been able to do so far, keeping Morgan Gibbs-White, bringing in Ndoye to replace Anthony Langa, and also being in the mix for a couple of young guys in there. So I'm not surprised that they started their season on a very good note with 10 minutes left to play in the game, leading by 3-1. Brentford is one that yes, I know it's early days yet, but bringing in a new manager and losing, being on the verge of losing João Wissa after losing Christian Norgard and Brian Mbeumo, it could spell some major trouble for them going forward.
Let me just stay on that lineup. So, talking about Brentford, I've been worried about them for a minute, purely because of how much upheaval has happened in their team following the last campaign. So they sold quite a number of their big names. In the defense, you have Rico Henry, Nathan Collins, Seb van den Berg, and Michael Coyote. Calvin Keller has the goalkeeper. I think that back is solid. If they don't get rocked by too many injuries, they are decent.
Especially to Rico Henry, because he was on a brilliant tear, and I think I ranked him as the best left fullback last two seasons behind Pervis Estupinian. Before he got, I think he tore his ACL. And so
pretty good wing back.
Pretty good guy.
I like that backline. I like Michael Coyote a lot. Fiorentina youngster. He's supposed to be Nigerian, but he's actually Italian. Like, that type of
just like Destiny Udogie,
third generation Italian, more like that kind of situation. I would put it that way. So Michael Coyote is it's about like 20 years, very young fullback, can play both at right back and at left back. He was, I think, during the winter window last year, and then they managed to make the deal permanent. Matthias Jensen and Yeho Yamuluk are the people or the players who started in this one. Jensen has been substituted, and I believe in his place came Jordan Henderson. So Jordan Henderson in the mix there, a guy that I was never really fond of. Anyway, a conversation for another day. Fabio Carvalho is getting a run in today. They completely wasted his time last season.
Oh, when you say they
wasted his time.
No, he didn't also pull his weight.
Fabio Carvalho.
Yeah,
He
got
didn't
some
also pull his
chances,
weight.
he
He didn't pull his
He
weight.
barely
He got
put up-
chances.
He got
Yeah,
chances. He
He
didn't
barely
pull
put up
his weight.
performances
He didn't
that
pull his
keep him in
weight.
the
And that's
team.
where the biggest
I
concern
thought they were
is.
benching him. He got upset and then they played him a little.
Yeah, I think that's where the biggest concern is. The front line. Because if you are taking away Mbeumo, João Wissa, and their replacements Fabio Carvalho and Luis Porter. Yeah, that's where there's a bit of concern. If those guys don't step up, the drop off in the goals will definitely affect them, and it will affect their standing in the league table.
Let's talk about Man United and Arsenal. That's the big game for today. The big news is that the starting lineups are out, so we can dig our teeth into that.
Yeah, but before we do that, just a quick one on the Semenyo issue, the racism bit. Look, I've seen the statement put out by Gianni Infantino, the FIFA president.
Okay.
Same old. Racism has no place in football.
It's like a template that is lying there.
Look, I think
he says, "Hey, please activate the racism template."
I think we should be serious about these things.
They need to be serious.
Look at the level of intensity and the energy they used to fight the Super League. You saw how intense it was. But this thing has been around for years, decades, and it's still not getting the necessary push.
Just a quarter of that effort.
Yes.
See how they were all outraged by the idea of the Super League. Just a quarter of that effort.
That's what they need to do to be able to approach this.
Taking the knee and those
taking the knee. Even Wilfred Zaha at some point stopped kneeling because it wasn't having the effect. He stopped. Look, at this point in time, call me crazy, but the players, black players who get abused, should court other players to leave the pitch. Once you leave the pitch, the games will be compromised. Once the games are compromised, the product will be compromised. Once the product is compromised, the money eventually will be compromised. That's when
the organizers will feel the need.
Yes, will set up, because it's all about the money. This Super League thing that you saw them aggressively campaign against,
because money was at stake.
Because the money.
Their money was good to be heavy.
Exactly. So adopt the same approach. Adopt the same approach in fighting this racism thing, because at this point it's getting a little bit out of hand. Because 2 days earlier, Matthias Tel of Tottenham Hotspur suffered the same thing in the Super Cup, because he apparently missed the penalty, and all of a sudden he got racially abused. Online and in person too. And this is off the page now. Online, look, if I'm a black player or a black athlete, yes, it's true, you can get endorsement deals off your tweets, of the pictures you post on Instagram, all of those things. But is it really important, and does it really fetch you the kind of satisfaction that you need, because the amount of money you get compared to the level of abuse that you get, is it at par? Especially if players can be in a position where they can make money off their social media handles, endorsements and all those things, then it means that the player is pretty accomplished and is raking in some serious cash. So there's no major reason or need for you to wholly depend on getting endorsement deals online. So you can do without all these online platforms, and make sure that, look, if you are not protecting me from all this nonsense, then there's no point in me being on your platform, because at the end of the day, me being on your platform also adds to your pool of money. Because people, athletes draw people to be on social media, to get on social media. So if they are
there are people whose content creation literally revolves around the existence of athletes.
Exactly.
Literally.
So, and you are making money off this content. So if the main players or the main actors in all this content creation, all of this sports content that brings you money, are being abused, and you are not doing much about it, then I'm better off getting off that platform. And that's what black players need to start doing. let's say, imagine Marcus Rashford, let's say Bukayo Saka. I know he's very unpopular right now, but Jadon Sancho, he has a significant following. Yep. All of these players gang up and say, okay, we are taking our social media handles down. Trust me, Meta and Co, they'll sit up and do a better job at dealing with all these racism things. So for me, that's the little bit I have to say on the racism bit.
It just needs to be a little more holistic. I agree with you. Let me get into starting lineups for the big game. It's at Old Trafford. The funny thing I saw today, the football fans are hilarious. Casemiro posted that he was excited ahead of the big game today, and then all of a sudden there was a meltdown in his quotes. Basically,
they're pleading that he shouldn't start.
People unhappy that he's posting that he'll be starting. I'm like, what is the meaning of this? A player has been certified by his manager after the week of training that he's starting the game. And all of a sudden, the fans are up in arms against him. That, what do you mean by you're starting? Like, why are you starting the game? It was just hilarious to notice. But starting lineup is out for United versus Arsenal. Bayern, there is some post for Man United, which is interesting. Onana came back, started training. I thought Onana would be in post, but it looks like I don't know again if this is an injury risk management situation or this is also a sign of the times at United. We'll talk about that in a bit.
Things are changing. New currency, new goalkeeper.
Well, 3-back system for Amorim as usual. It's Euro, De Ligt, and Shaw. And then at left wing back he has Dogu. At right wing back he has Diego Dallo. Casemiro will be partnered by Bruno Fernandes. And I believe in this system that Casemiro is an anchor man or a defensive midfielder with a role to support, and Fernandes is possibly the box-to-box midfielder. Mateus Cunha and Mbeumo will play together. Mason Mount leads the line. Interesting. Looks to me like a possible false nine because you still have Mbeumo and Cunha, but that's still very, very interesting. Yeah, let's dig into. In fact, let me start with Edem on this one. Let's dig into that United starting lineup that I've just put out. The Mount leading the line. Very interesting implications. Bayender starts ahead of Onana as well. I checked the bench, and indeed, Onana, is he on the bench? No, he's not even on the bench. They have Tom Heaton on the bench, so I believe Onana is not deemed fit enough to start the game.
He's still tagged as injured, dealing with hamstring strain.
So he's not even starting the game at all. Thoughts on that United lineup?
I'm not surprised about too much bar Mount's inclusion and in the position he's playing in. I thought they would use him in a different way. Maybe one of the other guys would probably be the false nine. But I mean, I'm not too surprised. I don't think he wants to count on Rasmus Højlund as he looks to be on the move, and Šeško just came in, so I'm sure it's true.
Is Rasmus going to be on the move?
It looks like. It looks like. I think some Italian teams are interested
AC
in him.
Milan is interested
in him. So yeah.
AC Milan like buying other people's garbage. I don't even understand. Anyway, let's stay on the topic.
Yeah, but with Mount's inclusion, I just hope he can put in a good performance today. Before the season ended, he was picking up a bit in the Europa League 1. He had a good run of games in there, so I'm sure he will look to carry on in that same fashion. As always, I'm expecting a good game from Bruno Fernandes. He's been somebody who constantly shows up for United since he started wearing that shit. So, and the new guys too, with how they were looking in preseason, I'm expecting an improved United today. That's what I would say. Yeah, I don't think what we saw last season will be their tail this season. Where they would finish, I can't really tell. But with the kind of quality they've added to their team and having a full preseason and all of that, I just feel like today we should see a much better outing from them from the start of the season. Well,
we'll be getting deeper into that United lineup, but yeah, just quick thoughts on. I don't know, man. I feel some type of way about these type of things. For instance, Ugarte, young, energetic DM, bought for decent money on the bench. Old man Casemiro, still being paid a truckload of money, gets to start ahead of him. Kobe Mainoo, once upon a time, the golden boy, the iron boy, the everything on the block. These days, looks like he's also on the outside looking in. And then obviously my captain, fantastic. I would have thought he would have been part of this game, but looks like in the back three, Captain
Maguire.
Captain Maguire is not trusted in these type of situations. Just thoughts on the lineup generally. Yeah.
Oh, the Maguire absence. I mean, you can see it coming from a mile away. The Maguire absence in the starting lineup
after his influence last season.
No. You can see it coming from a mile away. There's no way of when all the players are fit, he will start. There's no way he will start because look, even today, Lisandro Martinez isn't available, but Maguire is still on the bench. Mazraoui isn't available because of a thigh strain. Maguire is on the bench. So when all of them are available, he won't make the starting lineup. So I'm not surprised with that. By Yende starting, no surprises because Onana just returned to training, I think, a little over a week ago, like a week and 2 days ago. So yeah, and once you're dealing with a hamstring, you don't want to really risk it. You want to give it some time before you put him back into that starting lineup. So I'm not surprised with the back three, given the injuries and the players available. So pretty much that's settled. The midfield, the only questionable selection is Casemiro. I would have wanted him to start Ugarte because this setup is quite top heavy, and there will be acres of space in behind that front line. So you need someone to cover all that space. And looking at Casemiro's limited mobility these days, it's a very big call from Ruben Amorim to put him in that starting lineup. Maybe this is an audition, because if you can perform in the big game against Arsenal on day one, then you can be trusted along the way to man that position. And so I think this is a major audition for Casemiro, because realistically, he is the third player on the depth chart list. Because ideally, the starter in that position should be Ugarte, followed by Kobe Menu. Then Casemiro comes in. But per my pecking order, the one who is at the bottom ends up starting this game. Then it just tells me nothing but this being an auditioning. And he really has to perform. Other than that, he will likely be seen or playing 5-10 minutes in the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup matches. Other than that, he won't be able to get any proper running with this Man United team. Then I look at the starting lineup, and it just confirms my fears that Man United shouldn't have spent all that money on Mbeumo, and rather they should have used it to get a midfielder and have Amad Diallo be the one manning that position. Fair argument. It should have been Amad Diallo manning that position. I'm
kind of surprised opening day he's not starting, because I thought he's done enough to justify
but at the end of the day,
big money has been spent.
You spent big money on Mbeumo and Cunha, so you can't.
Why can't Amad play, and why does Mount have to play ahead of Amad?
That's it for me. That's what I'm saying.
Play Cunha on top. And then play Amad and with Mbeumo.
Again, that's where the bit of auditioning also comes in. I was about to get to Mason Mount. So this is an auditioning for him. This is an audition for him that he needs to excel. He needs to deliver and produce. Other than that, he will finding minutes in this Man United team very, very difficult. But ideally, it should have been Amad starting alongside Matheus Cunha in behind Mason Mount. If you didn't spend all that money to go get Brian Mbeumo. But even if Mbeumo, now that Mbeumo has been bought, you make a very solid argument why he should have been the one starting in Mount's position and have Amad Diallo and Matheus Cunha playing behind him. That would make perfect sense. But I'll counter that point by saying that Mason Mount had a solid end to the season. That's how come he even ended up starting in the Europa League final ahead of Garnacho. That brought about all this chaos. You get it? So it's more or less
a good last.
So it's more or less like an audition for him. Like deliver the goods in this big game on day one, and rest assured, more or less, you have a solid number of chances to have a decent run in the starting lineup in this Man United setup. So for me, yeah, that's the little bit I have to say about this Man United starting lineup against Arsenal.
Let's wrap up the games that have just concluded, because we need to give some updates on that as well. The big news is that Chelsea have been held to a painful draw by Crystal Palace. I'm not sure how Chelsea fans are feeling about that, but I mean, off the high of that club World Cup victory, they thought that they were going to hit the ground running this particular season, but it's not really played out in that manner at all. If you look at the statistics, let me give you a few numbers from the game that has just gone by, and then we will try to make some sense of it, and then you also can try and interpret it in your own way from wherever you are. So you look at shots on target in this game. Palace had 4 shots on target to Chelsea's 3. You look and talk about shots off target. Chelsea had 7 of those to Palace's 5, and then you can talk about possession number, 71% for Chelsea to just 29% for Palace. Some way, somehow, they leave the bridge with a point. And then corners, Chelsea had 10 corners. Palace had 2. Chelsea did not make a single one of those 10 corners count. And then you can also go on and talk about throw-ins, 21-16 advantage Chelsea. You can talk about goalkeeper saves and all of those numbers. But the big news is that Chelsea and Palace have split points in this particular encounter. Yeah, let me take your thoughts on this result. Not the type of season start they were hoping for.
Yeah, not the type of season start they were hoping for. But then again, yeah, Palace these days aren't a small club or an easy team to play against. I mean, they might not have the profile of the other London teams like Spurs, like Arsenal and Chelsea. But at the end of the day, under Glasner, they've morphed into a very, very difficult team to break down. And quite dangerous, particularly when it comes to the counter-attacks and all. And yeah, they've also built a reputation of being able to defend quite well when it comes to the set pieces, and you can clearly see that with the number of corner kicks that Chelsea had, and weren't able to convert any of those chances. Palace are pretty much a big team. You look at that back line: Chris Richards, Lacroix, Maguire isn't the biggest defender out there, but Mateta drops in to
help
make
with
up
set
for
piece situations,
to make up for that
pretty tall team overall.
for that drop off in height, and you throw in Dean Henderson, and the fact that Chelsea, looking at their starting lineup, they aren't necessarily the tallest.
Their team is not towering like that.
Yeah, they aren't necessarily the tallest. So yeah, it makes life a little bit easier to deal with set pieces coming from the Chelsea folks, despite the quality of takers that Chelsea do possess. And so putting it all together, and the fact that Crystal Palace have been playing, they played a competitive, meaningful game just last weekend. And Chelsea haven't been able to do so, and the fact that
they're holidaying for a bit.
Their holiday was pretty short too.
Yeah.
So if you are playing a team that has warmed itself up pretty well, and you are now getting yourself out of the cold on the first day,
they will look.
It will definitely look rusty. It will definitely look rusty, and that team that you're playing against is a quality side, and so 0-0 is not the most surprising result out there, but it's not the best result for Chelsea. At least I thought that with the quality that they have,
a slender
a slim win would do. I thought a slim win would do.
I thought they would steal it at the death.
Yeah.
But Crystal Palace largely reduced their possession to meaningless passing and floating of balls into the box that didn't really have an effect. So Glasner is doing a pretty good job. I'd just love to see how the team looks should he lose either Eze or Gehi or both, because those are 2 players that are very, very important cogs in the team at the moment. So losing them will mean that he'll have to sit back and re-strategize with either existing players or whoever they might be able to do business and bring in before the window
If
ends.
they end up losing Gehi, then they should look straight away at Arsenal to get a central defender.
I think that they
On loan.
I mean, look.
on
If
loan,
you've known for a minute that you're going to lose Gehi one way or the other, unless they are delusional.
Yeah, I think
Eze as well. You should have.
a loan for someone like who Mosquera or another one who is.
No, maybe
Arsenal is not letting Mosquera go.
No, maybe Jacob Kivio. Because Arsenal have 7 defenders.
Arsenal
7 central defenders.
That's a good name to throw in, because I think Jacob Kivio is a good player who's not been given a fair chance at Arsenal. So probably, but does Jacob Kivio want to go on loan to Crystal Palace? That's the bigger question.
At the end of the day, look, you're not going to get much running with this Arsenal team. You'll be reduced to playing the Carabao Cup and all. But with Crystal Palace, at least you'll be still playing the Conference League and all. So yeah, it's a big step up than the playing in the Carabao Cup. And another name, if let's say Maguire goes, Crystal Palace should look at will be maybe looking at Man United, Aiden Heaven. Someone like that, maybe someone like that, because if Lisandro Martinez returns, Mazraoui returns, it will be very difficult for Aiden Heaven to get playing time. And so, yeah, those are some names that they should look out for. Should Maguire end up leaving?
Well, Chelsea Football Club goalless draw against Crystal Palace. Very flat beginning to the start of the season. They were hoping for big things today because Joao Pedro was starting, but I generally look at the Chelsea team and there's literally so much upheaval, so much has changed in the course of a season that, I mean, this does not really surprise me. Players look like they are still building chemistry, and so that's to be expected. But like we always say in the Premier League, if you have big ambitions, sometimes dropping 2 points on opening day is all the momentum you need to lose to be playing catch up for the rest of the campaign. So I'm not sure how big their own ambitions are as far as the board is concerned, but fans also typically have their own ambitions with regards to a team. I don't know how the fans are taking this, but Chelsea fans, send us a message. How are you feeling about your draw? If you are watching us via YouTube, let me know where you're watching us from. Also drop us a message on how you feel about the goalless draw that has just happened. Let's get to the other game that was played. Nottingham Forest defeating Brentford by 3-1. Big win for Forest on opening day. Chris Wood getting 2 goals on the day. Ndoye also getting the other, and then Thiago with the penalty for Brentford. So Brentford's only goal coming through a penalty. Brentford have had, like I said, major upheaval, including a managerial change, and so you'd expect that things would be a little tough, things would be a little different. Manager is Keith Andrews, not the biggest name out there as well, but Nuno Espirito Santo starts exactly how he would have wanted to begin a new season. Brentford, after losing a lot of players and their manager, have labored to, put anything together. They lose pretty heavily. They go away with nothing.
Yeah, and it was to be expected. I didn't see a 3-1 scoreline. Nottingham Forest scoring 3 goals, because even in the lead up to this game, Nuno Espirito Santo was asked, and he candidly stated that his team is not where they are supposed to be in terms of preparation for this upcoming season. So I expected them to win, but maybe, like you said, with regard to the Chelsea game, slender win, the fact that they are the home team, the 12th man pushing you over the the fact that they are the more settled side of the two, returning with the same manager, a lot of the players, and they are not in a situation where Brentford is at the moment, where pretty much major changes have had to happen because of all the exits. And so, yeah, I expected a slim margin win for Nottingham Forest, but at the end of the day, Chris Wood showed massive composure to get that third goal for Nottingham Forest. And yeah, again, the defensive breakdown for Brentford, it cost them. Other than that, I would have seen this game playing out the way I envisage it, which is more or less a 1-0 win for Nottingham Forest. But Nottingham Forest got a bit clinical in front of goal and managed to score two more than I expected them to do so. So yeah, pretty much a straightforward win for Nottingham Forest. Nothing surprising, with the exception of they getting two more goals than I expected.
Yes, so Forest getting the win there. Adam, quick thoughts on that result?
I'm just happy for Nuno, because last season wasn't the best for him getting to the tail end. If we can remember that incident between
Marinakis,
him and his owner, they are at the very end of the league cycle. But it's nice for him to pick up like the tempo this season. As Yao rightly said, he was speaking about the fact that he doesn't feel his team is where it needs to be with regards to preparation. I'm sure they want to do a bit more in the window before it closes, because Edu is kind of racking it up right now. They brought a couple players in, and I'm sure they want to tie up the business before the season starts, because I'm sure they want to avoid what happened at the end of last season. It was because their team wasn't where it needed to be in terms of depth, and now they are competing in Europe. They want a deeper squad that has quality that can take them over the line. So it's nice to see them start the season strongly.
So Nottingham Forest starting the season on a strong note, getting 3 goals. Brentford only managing 1. Very interesting. That's the lowdown on that particular game. So Forest join the list of teams that have picked up a win on match day 1. Like I said, let's now fully turn our attention to the big game. It's just about a little over 15 minutes away, and it's at Old Trafford. Between Arsenal Football Club and Man United. Man United playing at home in this one, so they are hosting Arsenal in this game. Let me get to the Arsenal lineup. Let's get into that as well. Arsenal fans feel that there will be something big happening this season. I mean, have picked up second spot on a couple of occasions. They think that this will be their season. When you get to the lineup for the Gunners, they are the away side, like I rightly mentioned. Very interesting lineup put out there as well. I can see that both sets of fans are not too happy with the lineups put out by their teams, but what can you do? Arsenal have David Raya in post, Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, and Calafiori. Zubimendi, Declan Rice, and Odegaard. That's the 3-man midfield. And then you have Martinelli, Gyökeres, and Saka. So Zubimendi is playing on the left-hand side of Declan Rice, and Odegaard is playing on the right-hand side. So roles obviously will be designated. I'm interested in knowing exactly what kind of role Arteta has carved out for Zubimendi today. But yeah, let me start off with you.
Yeah, sorry, but I need to answer your question with a question. Why are the Arsenal fans?
Somebody said the Arsenal midfield. So in the YouTube comment sections, 2 Arsenal fans, one United guy said the United midfield was suspect, and then somebody responded by saying that he shouldn't worry because the Arsenal midfield is probably not any better. I just found that really interesting.
I'm surprised because
this Arsenal midfield is as decent as it gets. Maybe there's the uncertainty around Zubimendi because he's a good player, but you haven't seen him in the PL. You haven't seen him in an Arsenal shirt yet. You don't know what to expect. Odegaard, I think a lot of people are not very high on Martin Odegaard purely based on how he ended last season. Very unsure of himself in a lot of performances. It's just what it is. Those things carry on, but big facts is that 2 big name signings are starting today. Gyökeres gets to start in the Premier League today. Zubimendi gets to start as well. What are your expectations?
For the role, I think Zubimendi should be playing in the middle per the structure of the formation that we have on our screens.
Which is why I was a little surprised.
He should be playing in the middle because he does not have that kind of vertical speed to be going up and down, shuttling between the defense and the offense, like Declan Rice. So that Declan Rice should be the one tasked with that role, and have Zubimendi play as a deep line playmaker, just chicha passes, just distribute the passes, long range, short range, diagonal passes, hit them over to the lateral sides where you have your defenders, your wing defenders, be expected to be the ones to receive the ball and continue the move by dinking in the crosses to Victor Gyökeres to be able to finish them off, because that Martinelli and Bukayo Saka won't stay out wide. They will always drift a little bit infield, and that will create that pocket of space in behind for those wing defenders to occupy. It's a very good lineup that Arteta has put out there. My only worry is about the outlet out of defense, in the sense that if it's on the right side, Ben White. Look, just move over to citysportsonline.com. I put out an article there, and I cited why Arsenal might end up not winning the title, not because they aren't a good side, not because they didn't sign the right players, but because of the lack of proper production on the offensive side from the right side of defense. And it's Ben White who normally mans that position. Back in the day, used to be Tomiyasu. Yeah. But due to injuries, he's not available, and now he's been shipped out of the team. Look, last season, Ben White's accuracy when it comes to crosses, it was just 17.6%.
That's on the floor.
17.6%.
That's bad.
And you need the delivery from that side of the pitch to be on point. Liverpool scored a ton of goals over the past 3-4 seasons because of the presence of Alexander-Arnold and his quality or his ability to deliver quality crosses. Ben White's crosses, they are not even beating the first line of defense. They are not doing that. Or if he beats the first line of defense, it's ballooned way over everyone's head. And Arsenal tend to miss out on good scoring opportunities because of that poor delivery from that side of the field. And so, for me, like I wrote in my article, look, use Declan Rice as a right wing back, somewhat. Then play with a 3-man back line. And so instead of having Calafiori in there, you have Gabriel Magalhaes to man the left side. You have Saliba, who is the most comfortable with the ball at his feet, manning the middle. Then you have Ben White on the right side. Then you have Zubimendi as your sole pivot, with Luis Kelly as your left wing back, Declan Rice as your right wing back, Kai Havertz and Martin Odegaard manning the middle. Then you push Bukayo Saka closer to Gyökeres and have those two play in a 2-man unit up top. I think that would be perfect, and start the evolution of Bukayo Saka, because these days he is not your typical winger. He is not a typical winger. I see him
he's more inside forward than winger.
Exactly. I see him as Antoine Griezmann. When Antoine Griezmann started out at Real Sociedad, he was a flat-out winger, out-and-out winger. Then he evolved. He started drifting infield, becoming more of an inside forward. Then he completely changed his game.
As a left winger. Most people don't even remember.
Most people don't remember. Oh yeah, I remember him very well. As Sociedad,
inverted
with very stylish hair,
big blonde hair.
Yeah, exactly. Then he became that perfect foil guy who played off Olivier Giroud particularly well at the national team, and Diego Costa at the club level with Atletico Madrid.
He was playing off him.
He was playing off him, and it totally evolved and changed his game. That's how I see Bukayo Saka's game moving on or getting into the future. So you start it early, pretty much early, because the amount of minutes that he's played, the responsibility of constantly tracking back, it's a bit too much. And knowing very well that he is the more or less like the main outlet for the goal scoring, I think it's a bit too much. So you move him a little bit more inside, have him play off the striker, to be able to reduce the physical toll on him and be able to still maintain your scoring rate. And so for me, that's how I would do it. But aside the Ben White issue, I have no problem with the starting lineup that Mikel Arteta has put out against Man United.
I think actually that Ben White and Bukayo Saka actually have great partnership on that side. My only problem is that, like I've always said, I don't believe in this new modern manager philosophies about playing centre backs at fullback, because Ben White in my eyes will always be a centre back. I'm not even sure where this whole thing about playing players like that as right back started from, but it works for Arteta down that right hand side. So what do I know? Anyway, Bellyman says that regardless of what happens to me and my team United this afternoon, Chelsea has already made my day so good. Skipper Da Vinci from Ashali Butcher says, I didn't know you guys were live on TV. I was just going through the channels looking for what to watch, and I pounced on you guys. Haaland saved my FPL yesterday. Joao Pedro not as well. Yeah, we're live on Channel 1 TV as well. So please enjoy. Charles Adoboy from Oyibi says, I am not happy with the outcome of the Chelsea game. We will be back next week. Uche, listening live from Kaneshi, says Man United will win by 2 goals. When you saw Dalot, Shaw, Casemiro in the starting lineup without a striker, all the excitement level comes down. Or you mean when you see all those guys in the lineup? Casemiro versus Rice, we are done. Why are we playing a false 9? We have Sesko. Miss me with that match fitness story. That guy is a machine. The bench is better than the starting lineup. Charlie Uche has said a lot of things.
I understand the call to agency, because look, every team in the APL plays 38 games across the entire season.
Yeah.
Man United last season played 38 games and scored just 44 goals.
Start the striker.
So if you've gone and spent all this
big
money
on the striker,
on Benjamin Sesko, bring him and let him start.
Yeah. Start the striker.
Especially, and Adam mentioned this with Bruno Fernandes. He was the player who created the most chances last season in the EPL. Yeah. He created 91 chances.
Like,
and Man United scored just 44 goals. And this is just one player. One player. The others also created chances. And Man United still score 44 goals. So if you go out there and you splash the money to get Benjamin Sesko, there is no
maybe they need Gyökeres to light them up to give them the sense that they have a striker.
If the report about him not being match fit is true, fairs. But if it's not, stick him on the field, bro.
I'm just saying that if maybe they need Gyökeres to remind them that there are strikers on the pitch. Yeah. If Gyökeres scores today, they remember that they also have a striker on the bench. Probably. Right.
Yeah. I mean, just a quick one on the Arteta bit. I like the fact that he's starting 4 centre backs, because at the end of the day, you need to give Zubimendi some protection, because you've let Partey out of the door. The qualities that Partey brings to the table when it comes to passing, reading of the game, he has it. But the speed and the physicality bit, no, he doesn't have it. So you need that shortfall or that drop off. You need someone to be able to take care of it and manage that situation. And honestly, that's why I honestly believe that it's not Miles Lewis Kelly starting today on the left side, but it's Calafiori to add to the 3 centre backs that he normally plays, so that he has 4, and that would be more than enough protection to deal with the lack of physicality and game speed from Martin Zubimendi.
Okay, so kickoff almost here, just about 6 minutes to go. The big news is that Benjamin Sesko is on the bench for Man United. This game was talked about a lot of in the mode of Sesko versus Gyökeres, and all of a sudden United have swerved all of us by leaving Sesko.
I think that's probably why Amorim has left him on the bench. He probably doesn't want to
feed into the narrative
and pile pressure on his shoulders, because United have had a striker problem for a while now, and a lot of them see this signing as the answer to a lot of the problems the team has had goal scoring wise. So if they throw him into the fire right away, it can get really, really hot in there. But I would say that for a player like him who has come into the team, not had pre-season, stick him on. Like this can be how he gets warmed into the league. Like, there's no better way to get him accustomed to the league than Arsenal.
In a big game like this,
put him in the game.
I'm not sure why. They are overthinking. Anyway, the manager knows best. He's trained with him all week. I'm sure he understands exactly what he's doing. But the big news, of course, like I'm saying, is that Sesko starts on the bench for Man United. You're listening to the Republic of Football live here on 97.3 City FM. We're live on X or Twitter on City 97.3. We are live on YouTube at City Sports GH and Channel 1 TV, and we're live on Channel 1 TV as well. So across all platforms, literally 7U updates, 7U lineups analysis, backstories, banter, and all of that rolled into 1. That should be good. I'm taking more predictions from Man United and Arsenal fans. You guys should let me know how you feel about this game. Predictions, guys. Let me know how you feel. Who is winning this game? Send us your thoughts via text, WhatsApp, and Telegram as well. 0549 986 996 0549 986 996. You can also send us your thoughts if you are watching us live on YouTube. Just drop us a prediction in the comment section and we will get to it.
City 97.3. Accra.
Hello everyone! Prices continue to drop at Electroland Ghana Limited. CDA Picky promotion on Samsung, TCL, Media and NASCO Electronics. Get a NASCO 24-inch LED flat for $899 Ghana cedis. Starting from 2,999 Ghana cedis, you can get 6 kg NASCO washing machine plus a free gas stove. And the Media Inverter 1.5 HP R410 Unicool split comes with a free blender. And when you purchase 65, 75 and 85 TCL QD Mini LED 4K TVs, you will get a free TCL FHD Smart Android TV. Now buy a Samsung 578, 582 and 636 liter side-by-side refrigerators and walk away with free microwave grill. Go to our showrooms and dealer stores across Ghana now. Call 050-315-9739 or www.electrolandgh.com for inquiries.
Are you searching for a world-class conferencing facility to elevate your next event? Do you need a bougie look for that all-important corporate, board meeting or private social event? The Alisa Pavilion has an unmatched capacity. Our expansive conference center comfortably seats 1,000 persons in a theater-style setup. This makes it ideal for large conferences, product launches, weddings, social events, and exhibitions. There are 2 executive boardrooms set up for your high-profile meetings. With the importance of seamless technology integration, our facilities are equipped to support your audiovisual needs. Looking for an oasis of bliss? Saunter into our Oasis Lounge and Bistro on Thursdays for Thirsty Thursday, while you enjoy a whopping 15% discount. Make a date for Saturday Barbecue, where we have alfresco dining for nature lovers in our lush manicured lawns, while you savor lip-smacking dishes. The Alisa Hotel Pavilion, where great minds convene and beautiful memories are created. Alisa Hotels, our Aquaba means more than just welcome.
City 97.3. Accra.
Welcome back. Benjamin Nketiah on the seat. The Republic of Football is live on 97.3 City FM, Channel 1 TV, and all across our social media handles on Twitter or X at City973, on YouTube at City Sports GH, Channel 1 TV on YouTube as well. I see Brian in Bermo ready for his Premier League debut with Man United. Left-footed Cameroonian international, big money signing. came with big numbers from Brentford last season. I'm hoping that he can take his game to another level in a bigger team on a bigger platform. And so that is how it's unfolding. And then what kind of game are you expecting from Abraham Mbeumo on a debut day like this?
He's somebody who likes to take people on. He scores a lot of goals. He makes things happen for the front line of his team. When he was at Brentford, he was one of the main instigators of the things they do offensively. So he's a player who knows and understands responsibility and being part of a line that makes things happen for the team. So I think he will bring that to the United team. He's already on the move in the game. So like I'll expect a lot of that. Someone who will take the game to people. United have lacked attackers with personality in the last few years. People who want to take the game on their shoulders and do things with the ball. So he's somebody who likes to do a lot of that. So I'll be expecting him to bring that to a game of this sort. It's being his first game. It will really depend on how the game progresses. I'm looking to see how United will want to set up with them playing at home. Will they take the game to Arsenal, knowing very well that Arsenal as a team is in a better place than them, or have been in a better place than them for the last few years. So I just want to see how the game will progress. That would determine the kind of performance he'll be able to put in. If his team is the one that wants to be the main character in the game today, I think it's to bring the best out of his talents.
So Brandon Mbeumo getting his start. Let me get through a few of the predictions. Alexander Hagan on YouTube says that Man United 4, Arsenal 1. Kirby23 says Arsenal 7, Man United 0. I'm not sure you even mean that. Emmanuel Amega, okay, he's also saying he thought somebody was Liverpool. Okay, more messages coming through. Drop us your comments on YouTube. Hit the like and subscribe button as well. Let's get into more messages. Ebo Isaac watching live from Sakomono Village says, good afternoon, Ben and the guys. Stubborn Chelsea held Palace to a goalless draw this afternoon. Hate watch was successful. United winning against Arsenal by 2-1. Elisha from Ashaiman says, good afternoon, guys. The Newcastle fan, why are most managers nowadays obsessed with the 3-back system? I've checked most teams and that's their formation. Maybe the world is healing from Pep football and choosing a more robotic one. Anyways, easy win for Arsenal at New Trafford. I don't think
he's a Newcastle fan.
Interesting for me. Well, the 3-back system basically is an overload system. I think that's basically the underpinning principle. You can morph it into a back five, and then when you go forward, it can give you more numbers to overwhelm your
malleable,
opponents.
It's malleable. You can play with it when you need to. When you need to turn it to attack, it helps you do that easily. When you need more bodies behind the ball, so it helps you easily. So I think that's why managers really like that system.
The problem with this is that if you find a team that knows how to defend properly, you will be exposed multiple times. You could end up with a bucket load of goals. Anyway, 3-back systems, I don't know, those are the purest managers, the people who like philosophy things. Like they are overly enamored with keeping a certain philosophy and that type of thing. But it's 4 minutes or so played in that game between Man United and Arsenal. Arsenal jersey is delicious.
That jersey is
white, just white with trimmings of burgundy and some gold in there.
Adidas are really going in this season.
And then there's Man United. I don't know about United, man. I'm never ever excited about United jerseys, especially the home jerseys. Like every team will find a way to excite you one way or the other.
But
I mean,
have you seen their third jersey?
I've seen it.
That jersey, I feel like that jersey is cold.
The black and neon.
That jersey is really good.
I've seen it.
And they had one from the last set that was all white. That was really nice.
The third jersey they have this season, they had something close to it either a season or two ago. I think coach even has one jersey like that. It's decent. It's decent at best.
You sound like a Liverpool fan.
No, not really. It has nothing to even do with Liverpool. It just is decent at best. Like Arsenal throw down like killer jerseys.
I feel like Arsenal
always go
from
way back.
From way back.
Yeah.
Like
Arsenal have always had really
nice kids. Yeah,
nice
I think it's a thing that
Chelsea are on and off. They are hot and cold with kits. Liverpool are pretty consistent with good kits. At least on the home kit level, you know you are getting something nice. United,
Chelsea, I remember, was it last season?
yeah.
They had this water bending,
Charlie, that
water bender.
it was a no-no.
I
I don't know, it was a bunch of eels.
Yeah.
I think they were trying to try something new.
Yeah, water bending.
That's what I'm saying. Chelsea are very hot and cold with their kits. United are not cold or hot. They are just meh. They're just there.
Oh, I think
uninspiring.
I think you guys are being harsh on United. I think
don't know,
United
man.
do have some. They have an all white with red jersey from I think a season or two ago that I really find nice.
Yeah.
And I think the third jersey with this particular set is really good too.
Well, look at Brandon Bermud there. Looks like he's up and running. I haven't seen much of
a
Mason.
shot on target.
Yeah,
with his right foot too.
Yeah, looks like he's United are pressing pretty solidly up the field in this game generally, but I'm very keen on seeing how they flip around the situation from what happened in the last campaign. Also happening is a Spanish La Liga game. I believe it's Celta Vigo versus Getafe. We'll be giving you updates on that game as well. So it's 35 minutes played in that game. Bordalas is in action. Bordalas.
Football.
Borderlands, the less said about him.
I'm surprised he has not in quote unquote collected his name for being a haram football specialist, because the football they play is ugly.
I don't know how he gets away with not having that reputation.
I mean,
it's
Getafe. They don't play a lot of
Getafe,
competitions.
so, yeah.
And, but you know the other thing about La Liga I noticed yesterday. So I was observing like opening day enthusiasm. Charlie, La Liga needs to do better, man. They need to up their game. Like the commentary is just man. Anyway,
You know what?
because they have everything else. So like analysis on points, stadium visuals. They have some graphics they do on the pitch with like percentages and stats.
If they just get a better commentary team.
It's not even. I feel like the commentary team are even decent. They're just not excited.
That's
like they
what I'm
don't
saying.
sound. The commentators don't sound excited about the
what
product.
they are doing, and
it's
it's a big difference. You listen to the guys on the
Premier League
platform, and
Yeah.
you can tell they are excited about what they are doing. They are really into what they are doing. So
Yeah.
I completely understand you, because there's some exciting games there, but the commentary alone.
Commentary can make a boring game exciting.
Yeah.
Like the commentator can be selling you a complete facade of what's actually happening on the
We
pitch.
experience it every day in Ghana.
Yeah.
So yeah, I completely understand you, because there are some exciting games in there, but
Quality players too.
Yeah.
I think it's about the way they approach how to market the league. Son, Barcelona and Real Madrid, minus
Yeah.
Barcelona and Real Madrid.
Yeah.
And that's what the EPL has done so well. They've done it to the point where an Aston Villa, let's say Brighton and Hove Albion game is very attractive. It will get you to be interested in to watch it ahead of, let's say, a Fiorentina Inter Milan game.
True.
But that Inter Milan game, Fiorentina game, is bigger than Aston Villa and Brighton and Hove Albion.
it's all about how you're selling it.
Yeah, it's because of the way they market it, the way they sell it, and that's what the La Liga needs to do a better job.
Which is, you know what's crazy for me, right? Like before the proliferation of social media, before even like our job became this
Internet
heavy, like Serie A were huge. Like the German Bundesliga, they were huge. Like, and they didn't even have it back in the day. All of a sudden, the Premier League just took the baton and have never looked back since.
Yeah.
Like they just completely blown everybody.
For example,
out
you
of
see
the
some
water.
of the things you guys were speaking about with the all action weekend with drama and everything. There were things like that in La Liga this weekend.
Yeah, Partey play for
Partey
Villarreal.
played. That was that and the fans applauded him when he played. That was something there. In the Barcelona game, there were a lot of talking points about the referee.
The red card.
A lot of things, but there's barely any noise being made about it as compared to what happened in the Premier League over the first match day. So it's just how they are marketing their products.
Well, I like generally the the pace of this United game. Just to even get back to that, look at that.
Yeah, Mason Mount showing why Ruben Amorim picked him ahead of
defensive work,
Højlund and Benjamin Sesko. Providing cover, because like I said, playing Casemiro Yeah, it comes with these issues. It comes with this limitation in terms of being able to cover the team defensively, particularly when they are open, like the one that we just witnessed with Arsenal counter-attacking off a corner kick. Yeah. And so, yeah, you need his mobility, but it's just what he's able to do. So you feel in terms of goal scoring that will help pretty much underline the score for Robin Amorim to select him.
So you feel his inclusion adds like someone who will run more off the ball to compensate for.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean that's always been the case with Mason Mount. Like one thing you get out of him is hard work. But my problem is that like if you're a footballer and hard work is primarily your most elite attributes, I don't want you on the pitch. You can sit on the bench. To be honest, I can get people to give me some level of hard work as well and balance it out with good technique and good tactical knowledge. I don't need like just legs for legs running sake. And no disrespect to Mason Mount, I don't think he was that guy when he first broke out at Chelsea. I remember he won Chelsea MVP of the season and stuff like that a couple of seasons ago. I think that's the kind of guy United thought they were getting when they put that heavy amount of money on him, not an energy merchant, to put it lightly. I just think.
But when you come into Man United and you've had to deal with injuries for the past 2 seasons, the way he has had to deal with, the way to work your way back into the team would have to be an energy merchant. That's the way you have to take. You have to do it, because at the end of the day, you have players way ahead of you in the pecking order, and so that's how it has to be. In order to play your way back into the team.
So that's the word so far. It's still goalless between Manchester United and Arsenal. It's the super game of the weekend, and what a game to have on match day 1. Already looks like a pretty even affair, pretty end to end so far. I'll be getting some reactions from social media also in a bit, just so we can peep what the folks are talking about. Should be interesting there. Gary Neville is a pundit and a former Manchester United player. He believes that United have settled better in the first 10 minutes and have dominated possession and are looking pretty much like the confident team that they should be looking like in the opening 10 minutes. I think we have a goal on the cards, and it looks like Ricardo Calafiori has given Arsenal the lead. Just when I was giving United props for spoke too soon. Look at exactly what it is. Exactly what it is. The Arsenal fans are doing some small meeting in the huddle, but big news, big goal, huge goal. Ricardo Calafiori opens the account for Arsenal to begin the season. I don't know why, for some reason, I never forget who scores a team's first goal of the campaign. And look at that. So, corner whipped in, I believe it was Martinelli. And that's a goalkeeping error.
Declan Rice. Again, like I said, crossing ability, Declan Rice.
Wow.
That's pretty much an Olympic goal, if you ask me. By the goalkeeper touching it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just let's talk through that goal real quick. The quality of the cross, first of all, and then I take Bayern there being muzzled. I think this is a set piece routine at training. They basically set somebody to mark the goalkeeper just so he will be distracted when the ball comes in. Looks like it has worked.
Yeah. Get a big bodied player to just
rough him up a bit.
Put in some sharp elbows into his ribs a little bit. Yeah, get him off his usual mark or his spot. More or less,
because clearly he came out to take that ball and only could get half a touch on it.
Yes, and look, I've seen this happen. The Spurs goalkeeper Vicario too. He suffers from this issue. When players get physical with him during set pieces, it kind of throws him off, and he's not able to get to his spot or his mark enough to be able to either make a catch or to punch the ball out. And so, yeah, definitely Arsenal would have spotted this a long time ago with Bayern, because this isn't the first time he's done it.
Yep.
This is the first time he's done it. Last season, I remember Man United conceded 2 goals in a certain game, and it came off similar situations like this, the one we just witnessed. And so, yeah, they would have definitely game planned for a situation like this, and it will be part of the game plan. And yeah, William Saliba executed very, very well, brilliantly well, to be able to just shift Bayende a little bit off and prevent him from getting a full blow to that ball and be able to fist it away. He just fluffed at it, and Calafiori was right there to just tackle him.
Is the last touch of the goalkeeper or Calafiori? Because
I think it will be Calafiori.
It's Calafiori.
I think it's Calafiori.
Yeah.
So
because the half seemed like an own goal, half seemed like Calafiori by the last touch.
what is that a penalty?
Now, let me just give you some stats. So, Arsenal scored 27 goals from corner kicks last season. 27.
And their first goal of this season.
27 goals from corner kicks last season. And they have started this season with a goal from a corner. So, if anything should tell you how they are looking to kick off the campaign, this is exactly how it is going to be from the Ghana's point of view. But let's talk about it again from a general organization point of view from Manchester United. And again, United conceded quite a number of goals from dead ball situations last season. Yeah, it has reared its ugly head again.
Yeah, but this one, it has nothing to do with organization. It has everything to do with the goalkeeper, and that's why there's a call for Man United to get a goalkeeper, because Bayende is not it, and if it means pushing Onana to become the backup, then so be it, because he has also had his fair share of struggles in this kind of situation in previous seasons. So yeah, I'm all in for the goalkeeping issue to be resolved, and this is another reason to do so. Right now, Man United have a free kick in the
This is a deadly position. I thought that should have been Brian Mbeumo. That looked like a left footer scaler. Yeah, I'm not sure who took it.
Yeah, Bruno Fernandes.
Well, Bruno Fernandes looked like hold on. Bruno Fernandes needs to respect himself. You know, when he arrived in the league, he arrived with this wicked reputation of being some dead ball expert, like free kick killer, you know, that kind of guy. And then you look at his numbers and how many he's converted over time. It doesn't correspond quite with the reputation. I mean, regardless, he has the ability to hit them. He can score from long range, but I just thought that they probably scored more dead balls. That's purely based on the type of reputation he came into this season from. He came to this season with. So Martin Odegaard looks like every time he's clutching that ankle again. Remember, this ankle is,
like
in fact, this ankle is the beginning of all the discussions about how he has been poor in the last couple of months. Since that injury he suffered, I believe he was on national team duty with Norway. He's never really been the same. Yeah, just quick thoughts on Odegaard. I think Tony Adams was making some funny comments before the season started about how Arsenal needed to move on from Odegaard as team captain and move on to I think Declan Rice was his suggestion. Yes. I don't know what you make of that, and how does Odegaard respond to something like that with regards to his stature within the team and all of that?
As captain, when it comes to the captaincy, I support Tony Adams's claim that it should be Declan Rice. I mean,
after one season or 2 seasons?
No, it's not even up because of that. Because look, Granit Xhaka just got to Sunderland and he's the captain.
Well,
it's the player.
Different group dynamics.
I know, but it's the player. Does Odegaard as a captain really, give you that oomph, as in a driver of men, a driver, as in force you to get that extra gear out of you?
Fair
Odegaard,
point.
No, Declan Rice does. Between those two, Declan Rice does.
Let me paint a picture. We are in the tunnel going to play a game, and my captain, the person standing at the end of the tunnel, is Odegaard. As compared to, if I was the footballer in the tunnel, Odegaard is not the guy getting me fired up.
Yes,
it's just probably Declan Rice.
Yes,
that's just how. That's how. I'll put it.
I feel you.
Like if someone like Rice will probably give the team talk that will get to me.
Personality,
hearing him speak, and
personality matters. It's not about the quality, because back in the Black Stars heyday, 2006, top level, everyone was going nuts about the talent that Ghana had. No disrespect, but if it was Michael Essien was our best player, but
he didn't have
there's a reason why Stephen Appiah was the captain.
Exactly, I feel
there's a reason why Stephen Appiah was the captain and not Michael Essien.
Essien was more lead by performance.
and not lead by example, not by
Like
lead
verbally.
by verbal, inspirational, and practical,
I
and
get
those
what you
things.
mean.
And so there's for that I support Tony Adams 100%. And for the other bit about his performance, look, when I hear Uncle in relation to dip in form for a player who dribbles with the ball that much, I'm just thinking of Eden Hazard.
It is a death knell.
I'm just thinking of Eden Hazard.
Yeah.
It is pretty much game over.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Eden Hazard. The only bit of sliver of hope for Martin Odegaard is that he is not entirely dependent on his speed.
Yeah.
And on top of that, he doesn't necessarily play in a position where speed is of the utmost essence.
Yeah.
Because he plays a little bit through the middle. But with other guys like, let's say, Eden Hazard, they played out exclusively out wide. Yes, you can get past your player with your skill, your dribbling ability, but you need to be able to drive that ball to a certain area of the pitch and deliver that cross, or to be able to progress the ball further. And in that sense, when you lose that bit, you lose a lot in your game. But with Martin Odegaard, it's not really a major issue. But at the end of the day, that when you have a guy who is that good with the ball at his feet, having issues with his ankle. It's not too much of a good news. And especially for an Arsenal team that doesn't necessarily create a lot of chances going through the middle. Because they are so vertical. And that's why every time Thomas Partey played, they did so well. Because he brought another layer of passing range and ability that Declan Rice necessarily wouldn't give you.
Let me give you context on how ankle injuries have ended a lot of careers. So Eden Hazard, you said, is one. And the Hazard situation was peculiar because he even said after multiple surgeries that he still felt pain in his ankle and that he just couldn't move the way he used to move back in the day at Chelsea. Jack Wilshere, I mean, broke his ankle and was never ever the same again. I can talk about more recent, even Wayne Rooney, ankle injuries set him back in the final, stages of his career. N'Golo Kante, ankle injuries is eventually what slowed him down and then led him to head to Saudi Arabia. Paul Pogba was another. He struggled with ankle injuries all throughout his time at Man United.
He's always,
agility,
moving
always moving in tight
even
spaces.
Frankie de Jong recently was struggling. So this season, last season he was integrated well, and even after he came back from the surgery, he complained about feeling pain sometimes when he played some games. So they were kind of slow with him till he started picking up minutes. So it's a very important.
If you are a player who relies on agility, especially Neymar, how could I even forget Neymar? More recently, that's like something you should be looking up to. Let me just get you through a few numbers as far as this game is concerned. So when you talk about head-to-head with regards to Man United and Arsenal, you can talk about league position. It's 12th and 8th as at now. Total points 1-0 has happened so far. You look at form guide coming into this game. United's last game was a friendly against Fiorentina, I believe. Ended 1-1, and then Arsenal beat Bilbao by 3-0 in their own final game coming into this one. So you can talk about previous competitions or previous meetings between the two teams. 206 matches played between United and Arsenal. Arsenal have won 71. United have 86 wins. And then 49 of those have been draws. The last game between these two was on the 9th of March 2025. It ended 1-1. That was a Premier League game. And then before that, there was an FA Cup game as well that also ended 1-1. The last win for Arsenal in this game came on the 4th of December 2024. That was at the Emirates. Arsenal beat United by 2-0. So that is worth noting. Now, also interesting and worth noting with this game is that United have lost just 2 of their last 18 Premier League home games against Arsenal.
That's why coach was so.
They've won 10 and drawn 6.
Arsenal don't
Now, both defeats though have been with Arteta in charge of Arsenal. 1-0 in November 2020, and then another in May 2024. So Arsenal fans have every right to believe that they will beat United in this game. If you look at more statistics or more facts from this game, you can talk about the fact that Arsenal have scored in each of their last 11 Premier League away games against United, 14 goals, having only managed to score in 10 of their first 22 visits to Old Trafford in the competition. So Arsenal know how to score at Old Trafford, and that already has been established by the pace of this game. Meanwhile, it's 25 minutes played at the Theatre of Dreams. My good friend Coach Christopher Nimley talked up a big game ahead of this one, said a lot of things ahead of this one. I'm hoping that after this game, hopefully we can catch a word from him before everything settles down, because you can't come and run your mouth and then when game day shows up, your team doesn't pull up to the party and you can go free. So hopefully we can get a word from him.
I'm going to be his lawyer right now. It's not even half time.
No, fair game, which is fair game. My good friend Simon Hooper is the referee in this game. Simon Hooper is just always means cue some controversy.
Yeah.
Something will happen, because Simon Hooper never ever sees a big game like this and has a quiet game. He has a thing for being the headline. I don't know what it is with him, but it's just a Simon Hooper
there are a
type.
set of referees in this league that have that thing about them.
Yeah,
they just like being
Premier League referees especially. I don't know what it is with them and always trying to be the headline. I don't know what it is.
Well, maybe adding to the excitement, because you
don't need excitement for referee. Just do your job and go. Add to the excitement.
Hey, I'm paying
for what reason? Just do your job and go.
Oh man, but Man United, they really need to be doing better, because the game is pretty much open. They've had some decent run at the opposing team, Arsenal, but yeah, the delivery hasn't been on point. The decision making is a little bit off. Brian Mbeumo has had a couple of decent runs at Arsenal, but they are not able to connect. Some of his decision making has been quite suspect, has been questionable. Always opting for the strike instead of trying to play his teammate in. The last one that they had, though, I like the fact that he and Matheus Cunha were on the same wavelength, and Matheus Cunha ran off the ball, tried to play the role of a decoy to drag a defender along and create space for Brian Mbeumo to be able to cut in onto his left foot and strike the ball. But the strike delayed a little bit, and it got a deflection along the way, and went off the field for a corner kick. But nothing major happened from that corner kick. And Man United still probing, but haven't been able to get the equalizer. Maybe this chance could prove to be the chance they do so. But
United just not. I mean, look at the numbers. So you can talk about expected goals, which always gives you a good sense of the quality of the chances that you are creating. So XG for United in this game is 0.25 to Arsenal's 0.65. So United have barely done anything meaningful in the final third of this game, according to the XG. If you look at the shot charts, they have 4 shots with 1 on target. Arsenal have 2 shots, and both of them have been on target. So Arsenal are dealing with a quality over quantity type of situation right now. And when you look at the possession stats, same as well. So broken down to the decimal, 56.9 for United, 43.1 for Arsenal. And then you can talk about total touches in the opposition box. Man United have 1 touch in Arsenal's box. Arsenal have 8 touches in United's box. So all these little numbers give you a good sense of who is doing what. Well, in that game in the Spanish La Liga between Getafe and Celta Vigo, it's goalless. It's half time in that particular encounter. United just missed a big chance. Patrick Dorgu missing a big chance. Yeah, quick thoughts on Dorgu. Also,
he flashed a brilliant shot off the frame of the post. It was a very, very good shot.
That clipped the post actually.
Yeah,
look at that.
that
was close.
I think
That was
what
close.
we've seen so far, 30 minutes into this game,
30 minutes.
what I've seen from him, I think he's added that to his game a little bit. Because
Taking the shot
taking
from
shots,
some,
once it lines up on your left foot, you need to let it go, and you're closer to goal, you need to let it go. He's taking he's made 2 shot attempts so far in this game, and the one that we had we just watched is one of them, the second one. But he looks a little bit aggressive when it comes to wanting to take that shot on, compared to last season. I think maybe last season, he was a new guy, so he wanted to do things, just the right way, not to be too over the top with the way he approaches the game, be a bit cautious, tread cautiously with the way he approached the game. But in this game so far, 30 minutes into this game, I think he looks a little bit more
adventurous,
a bit more adventurous, a bit more aggressive when it comes to wanting to let it go when the ball lines up on the left side of the field. And that's a good trait to have, because at the end of the day, that's one major hallmark of every good left fullback or a fullback, be it on the left side or on the right side. So many golazos have been scored from that position, off the foot of those guys. I mean, the one that easily comes to mind is that tragic season under David Moyes for Man United, where Patrice Evra absolutely unleashed one heck of a shot against Bayern Munich. I remember.
Hey, Charlie, United are falling off power. Hey! You're going from Patrice Evra to Patrick Dogu. Charlie.
You can't be too harsh on Patrice.
Oh, don't do this. Patrice Evra. Patrice Evra is like, we never ever really rank like left full backs in terms of all-time ratings. And I know guys like Roberto Carlos, Marcelo will always feature.
Are we having another Semenyo like goal for Matheus Cunha? No,
clearly not.
The ball ran a little bit.
Clearly not.
Him. But it was a good run though.
I haven't seen much of Cunha today. He's one I have big hopes for in terms of his arrival at United. I've always liked Cunha. Like I like strikers who can create their own goals. Like he can do something out of nothing. I don't like the strikers who are consistently relying on midfielders to give them stuff to make things happen. Cunha can unleash from 35 yards out of the blue and get you a goal. So hopefully we can see that version of Matheus Cunha. But that was, I mean, a glimpse of what he can possibly do when he gets on the ball. It's good to see Bukayo Saka also back though. We don't talk about how much Arsenal missed him when he was out last campaign. That literally just took the light out of their season when he went out with that injury.
You look at that run. Opened up, like I was saying earlier in the
but that is terrible midfield play from Arsenal. How do you let one player run all that length?
I think he got lucky with the last bounce.
He got a little bit lucky.
With the last
and so was Ekitike. It's part of it. I mean, in the lead up to his goal, he got that lucky bounce and he was able to get it.
I feel like players who scrap are the ones who get lucky. Like you don't give up on the run. There are legs in your way. They try to kick you, but you keep going. And that's how the ball.
This consistency is that type of consistency that will create the luck.
Fortune favors the bold.
Arsenal need to be careful. I mean that was not a good look. Three players in the midfield just run in between.
Because the game is open and you ask yourself, okay, where was Mason Mount? Because he had dropped deep. And so they had to he had dropped deep, so they had to account for his presence. And that's what Cunha spotted, and he exploited that space and run through. And so I think it was a good move from him to be able to take advantage of that space that popped up. And just as we are watching Ghana's very own Gideon Mensah get interviewed during the halftime break in AJ Oxley's game.
I'll be bringing you guys some updates and scores from the French League so they have also kicked off their season. The biggest piece of news is that Mohamed Salisu is nowhere to be found for Monaco, and he's fit as well. So I'm just asking myself what is going on with Mo Salisu. We'll be getting into talk of that, but
it's an area of concern or a matter of concern because the latter part of last season he wasn't getting any game playing time. That's why this is an area of concern because the level or the number of did not play is increasing and it's increasing fast. But at least on the positive side, when it comes to the French League in connection to the Black Stars, Abdul Salih Samed, he signed a 3-year deal to join OGC Nice. Yesterday he was in action. He played for OGC Nice in their game against Toulouse FC. They lost to Toulouse. And on the Toulouse side, there was Francis Abu, who recently moved from Belgium to Toulouse. And so, Ghana Black Stars players are making moves. I think now there are about 10 or 11 players who are in the Black Stars that play
in the French League.
And so
Sally's just moved to OGC Nice.
OGC Nice. OGC Nice. He was at RC Lens and he moved to OGC Nice.
So he's reunited with his manager.
Frank Heis.
Frank Heis is the one who gave him that big season.
RC Lens. His first 2 seasons at RC Lens, he was brilliant, and it was under Frank Heis. And after he signed that deal, he highlighted the fact that he getting back or reuniting with his manager was one of the reasons why he signed that deal to join OGC Nice. And
it's actually a way better landing spot than I would have envisioned for him, based on how his career has gone.
Going to play in the Champions League qualification.
They
finished 4th last season in the French League.
Very decent.
Very decent, because RC Lens, they are nowhere close to OGC Nice now. The struggle will still has left. They have their own issues with finances, selling players, and so
a lot going on there.
The French League do some nice graphics though. I'm just looking at the graphics for the Auxerre game. And Gideon Mensah was speaking in French. Actually, Gideon Mensah speaks pretty fluent French. Very interesting guy.
Elisha Owusu does same. And a part of their team now is another Black Star player, Ibrahim Osman. He moved from Brighton and Hove Albion on loan to AJ Auxerre. Last season, he was with, I believe, Feyenoord. Feyenoord. And, he wasn't able to get a settled role in the team. And so they ended the loan deal without signing him. And he went back to his parents' club. That's Brighton and Hove Albion. And they loaned him out again this time around to AJ Auxerre in the French League. The French League is a league of talent, and so
it is.
He is one talented young chap, and I'm just hoping that he is able to grab this opportunity and make the best out of it. Just like his more or less his contemporary, Abdul Fattah Ishaku. I remember people forget the dark days of Ishaku went through
Lisbon B.
In Lisbon, yes,
he was literally not getting any looking with Lisbon, the first team.
He was in hell.
Got a few chances, grabbed the bull by the horns.
Then that loan move to Leicester City did him a lot of good. It did him a lot of good, and he took that opportunity, helped them qualify to the EPL. And unfortunately, what was I believe supposed to be his breakout season, and where he gets in the ACL. But he's returned now, and he's been featuring in their games recently. So all the best to him, and all the best to all the young ones who are playing for the Black Stars. Recently broke into the Black Stars. Mohamed Husseini to sign a contract extension with Union Saint-Gilloise after helping them win the Belgian Pro League title. And so
that's a team that's been on the rise for last 4-5 years.
Union Saint-Gilloise,
Champions League, Pro League title. Anyway, back to the United Arsenal game. It's 38 minutes played. It's still 0-1 advantage Arsenal, the away team. They haven't looked the best. In fact, the game itself has not looked great.
But I think
it's been end to end for most part.
But I think by Arsenal's goal, I think United have slightly edged it.
Well, let me give you a few numbers to see if we can buttress that point. I have some offensive statistics here, a pretty in-depth breakdown. You can look at attacks. So like I said, 9 shots from United, 4 on target now, 3 from Arsenal, 3 on target. You have attempts out of the box, 5. Arsenal have 1 attempt. So I think that should give you a good sense of what United is dealing with in this game. They've attempted 5 shots outside the box already, and Arsenal have attempted 1. One of those hit the woodwork by Patrick Dogu. We saw a pretty feeble shot by I think Cunha or Mbeumo.
And he forced another save from David Raya. But I think Man United are struggling to be able to break down the Arsenal defense, which is a bit surprising, especially with patterned plays, touch and go kind of combos. They haven't been able to string those kind of passes or pass combinations together, and that's how come you see them attempting a lot of shots from long range, because they are not able to play their way through that Arsenal backline, and which is a bit surprising, because normally when they go for preseason and they get back into the campaign, this early part, those are the things that you look out to see from the teams, because those are the things that they work most on during the preseason periods. And so I'm a bit surprised that they've not really delved into that bit, and they are relying more on long range shots. But so far so good. I think Man United have been good, but that mistake from Bayende, I think this game will still be goalless and would have Man United slightly on top. But the fact that they've had some decent chances, haven't been able to take advantage of those chances, and they've conceded a goal, it has taken a little bit of the shine, a little bit of the lustre from how you generally evaluate their performance in this first half so far. I think 42 minutes into this first half. So
it looks like we have a yellow card. Simon Hooper is giving somebody a telling off over there. I'm not sure who he's talking to right now. Looks like it will be Calafiori. So a goal and a yellow card for the young Italian. He's literally trying to take Mbeumo's shirt off.
Yeah, he recognized the danger because he missed out on the ball. You remember what? I mean, he's Italian. He learned from Giorgio Chiellini. Definitely. You remember
when you miss out
at the 2020 Euros? Yeah. Once he missed the ball, he realized that Saka had acres of space in behind. He just pulled him down.
Sometimes you take one for the team.
Yeah, adopt the dark arts. It helps in such situations.
It might be the difference between 1-1 and a 1-0.
Trust me. And I'll never forget this classic story about the Madrid derby in I think it was in the Champions League or UEFA Super Cup, where Morata was just streaking in on goal, and he had beaten Sergio Ramos for pace, and Federico Valverde was the only one who was able to keep up with Morata's speed, but he was trailing Morata, and he delivered a tackle that got him red carded. And in the post game, he was interviewed about it, and he said, he was tracking back, trying to catch up to Morata. Then all he heard was someone shouting, "Kill him! Kill him! Kill him!" And it was Sergio Ramos.
It definitely sounds like him.
Obviously, Ramos.
Oh, but
and it was Sergio Ramos. Like someone was shouting, "Kill him! Kill him!" Yeah, like Kule.
Just take one for the team.
Take one for the team. So kill him, and he proceeded to bring him down, and he got red card because he was the last man. But at the end of the day, he saved a clear goal scoring opportunity for Real Madrid, and guess what? They ended up winning the cup.
Big time.
So the dark arts, they do work. They do work.
That's interesting.
So that Euros championship, Chiellini dragged Bukayo Saka down. It got the game to go to penalties.
And Italy won
the cup.
Euro.
So
true. Look, fact. You just need to be measured in how you do it, just so it doesn't cost your team.
Because at the end of the day, if I'm Calafiori, I'm just thinking to myself, okay, I'll take one for the team. Because at the end of the day, like I highlighted before, the start of the game, Arsenal have 7 central defenders.
Yes.
If I get red card, if I get yellow carded, and I have to be benched, I know that the replacement is equally good. So there's no drop off.
And like we're rightly pointing out, this is easily the type of game that can end like this. Like you can end the game like this 1-0 and then it's done. So it's okay. I mean, 1-0 so far, 44 minutes played. We have just about time added on in the first half to wrap this up. It's still 1-0 advantage Arsenal at Old Trafford, of all places. Good friend Nimli, I hope you can reach out to me, text me. You said there were going to be all kinds of dreams at Old Trafford this season, including lucid dreams. It looks like this is something very unfortunate going on right now. Your team is lacking inspiration. You are still playing with a false nine. You have a striker chilling on your bench, Sexy Zesco. Both of them are chilling on the bench. Hopefully they can come in and look to turn this game around. Just 1 minute of time added on. It's a long time I saw 1 minute of time added on.
A crazy amount of stoppages in this half.
To be fair, and which is crazy for a game for a game that's been free flowing and been end to end. The quality of chances has been very suspect.
Yeah, I was about to point that out. Like the game has been quite back and forth, but
we're not seeing a lot of goal mouth action.
Yeah, that final pass, that final cross has been. I've seen Odegaard try to thread it in through for Gyökeres a few times, and he wasn't accurate enough. So I think that's an area both teams should look at in the second half.
But I saw it coming together between De Ligt and Gyökeres, and Gyökeres absolutely obliterated him. Like he just pushed him out of the way.
That's a big man.
He's a big.
Gyökeres is physical.
He's packed.
I want to see how he uses that to his advantage. In the box, especially in the Premier League. But it looks like the halftime whistle has gone. Simon Hooper has brought proceedings to he's brought proceedings to a halt in the first half. So first 45 minutes of action done between Arsenal Football Club, the visiting team, and Man United at home at Old Trafford. It's 1-0 advantage to the Arsenal. We'll get into some halftime talk right about now. A couple of debutants. How are they faring? Are you happy with what you have seen from your club's big money signing in the first 45 minutes of action? We are still watching and still listening to the Republic of Football live here on 97.3 City FM. We're live on Channel 1 TV. And also live on our various social media handles, City973 on Twitter and X. We are also on Instagram. We're on YouTube at City Sports GH and Channel 1 TV's YouTube channel. 0549986996. 0549986996. That's the text and WhatsApp line. I'll get to that in a bit. Check out your predictions. Read out some of the feedback that's been coming through. I'll get to my Twitter feed and my YouTube feed as well, just so I can give you a sense of what the socials are saying, how the fans are feeling at halftime. Edu Kofi Tutu Skelly from Gomoa Budumbura. Charlie, this guy is misbehaving. I think he wants to say that he's related to the old Edu Tutu Skelly, you know. Charlie, Edu Tutu Skelly. Charlie, players can pass before. Edu Tutu Skelly. Anyway, it says it's a lie. Until last season, Chelsea has been on top when it comes to their jerseys, especially the home ones. You're a Chelsea fan. I don't expect you to say anything. Forget the guy. I don't expect you to say anything different.
That should be on top should be Brentford.
I was just about to say that
Brentford, Newcastle,
see the mid to lower tier teams have some killer jerseys.
No, have you seen the Brentford jerseys? The one they played with against Nottingham Forest.
Brentford have been killing it for a minute, especially their away and dead kits.
West Ham too.
West Ham too have nice.
Listen, I said if you go mid-table, lower tier teams,
and even
they have some.
Bournemouth.
The Bournemouth red and black is
yeah.
nice.
Even the blue black they wore against Liverpool is a really good kit.
Defender 10 from Kong says Man United have started their relegation defense. So
relegation defense is crazy.
Oh, I don't know what that even means. Linda from Tema says true hard fan of United, but right now my own heart has started beating already. I know God no go shame us, Charlie. Leave God alone. He has more important things to deal with than sorting out United's predicaments. Raymond Decoder from inside Tema also says that Arsenal will beat United by 3-1. Ben, after the match, please play me a picky. I know what you're doing over there. I know what you're doing. 0549 986 996 0549 986 996. We are doing 1,936 views on Twitter or X. Let's get to 2,000. Let's see how that goes. Yeah, those are some decent numbers. Shout outs to our Twitter community doing the viewing and also the following along of the Republic of Football live here on 97.3 City FM and also across all our various channels. Somebody is tweeting at me right now, so I did tweet that Arsenal's midfield or Arsenal's middle is getting run through, and then Top Gun or at @1_mob says we miss the controller. They haven't said anything. Don't shout. I wasn't the one who said it. Let me go through more trends on social media just so we touch on stuff. But as I go through that, let me start with you, Adam. Let's start with the debutants for this game. Let's start off with the United guys. Mbeumo, Konya in action for the first time, Premier League debut, big game for them. What have you made of it so far?
They've not looked bad so far. I think Mbeumo has been the brighter of the two. He's been running at the Arsenal defense a lot and trying to make things happen. Konya hasn't been bad himself. He's been trying to create some chances. I think he fashioned a shot that went across the face of goal. Mbeumo tried a couple that Arsenal blocked. They are looking bright, but I want United to play a bit more on the front foot. Like when they take the ball, they kind of like struggle to decide what they really want to do with it before they do with it. That's why I think they decided to start shooting from distance, because it got to a point where I think almost trying to like work it out in the box. And Arsenal are kind of astute defensively, so to get that kind of free run at Arsenal, it would take a lot of quality to unlock them. So they should try a bit more, like they should be more dynamic with the way they approach the Arsenal defense. Try something, maybe
look at that goal again. So we're getting a replay of the goal again. I think they are highlighting the actions that look at that. Look, it's just stuff of genius, to be honest. The stuff Arsenal do with these corner kicks, the decoys, the marker on the goalkeeper. You see, somebody's almost wrestling Konya out of the way, so his player, he can get a clear path to the goal.
If you notice what really got the goalkeeper, Odegaard motioned as if he was come to make the run into the box, and he stopped. Yeah. So their attention was kind of
everybody was distracted.
Yeah, it was in two places. Yeah, this is really smart.
I like what Arsenal do with their set pieces. Honestly, look, it's just genius stuff to witness something that is not just free open play football, but you know that when the going gets tough,
CC Odegaard, he just stops. Then now everybody.
It just off balances everybody. Yep. Almost like I'm going to get into the box, then I just look like I'm waiting for the ball. Yeah, Bayanda should really be doing better. But I don't blame him though. He never really is in control of that situation. Yeah. Just
he's not a goalkeeper fit to play for Man United.
But he's been boxed in.
There are like three things happening around you at the same time.
But at the end of the day, you should be looking at the ball and marking the guy who is in proximity, or dealing with the guy who is in closest proximity to you. And he wasn't able to do that. And look, he should have done a better job dealing with that situation. You don't fluff at that chance, you don't fluff at that cross and expect to be a starting goalkeeper for a team like Man United. No way. And so he's bound to be perpetually the backup, or he's bound to leave Manchester United. And this is not a good way to to start the season. And yeah, if there's any bit of defensive breakdown other than he messing up, then it would have to be Man United having Mason Mount marking William Saliba, because William Saliba was the one closest to Bayende, and because Mason Mount couldn't physically deal with William Saliba, that's what got Saliba to be able to handle Mason Mount and be able to put a body in or get his body into Bayende and force him to be very uncomfortable and eventually fluff out that cross that Ricardo Calafiori turned into the net. And so for me, yeah, if I'm to rate it, I'll put that 15% on the organization, Man United, the choice of defender to mark William Saliba, but the rest
It's plainly the goalkeeper.
It's all on Bayende. It's all on the goalkeeper. It's all. He should have done better, because you can't mess up when it comes to such a cross. And it's not like you've played 25 games into the season. There's a bit of fatigue, so yeah, you can't. Sometimes you even lose track of the ball. This is the first game of the season.
Actually, out the gate.
Your concentration is supposed to be optimal.
Concentration should be 1000%, like ultra sharp, ultra high. You simply cannot mess around in these kind of situations. So yeah, very disappointed in it, and I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe Man United's priorities, if they go on to lose this game, it might just about maybe lose another game in the Premier League before the window shuts. It might just end about flipping their priorities from getting a midfielder, Carlos Baleba like midfielder, to a goalkeeper. To a goalkeeper. It just might, because at the end of the day, Emiliano Martinez has his own situation that he's dealing with at Aston Villa, because he wasn't even part of the team that played yesterday against Newcastle, and so he's been angling towards a move, or angling for a move. And so if you show them some good cash, I'm pretty sure they should be able to let him go. And he's definitely an upgrade on the Man United options in there, Onana and Bayende.
Well, it looks like United will have to dig deep to get something out of this game. Just in case you are just joining the broadcast, Chelsea played out a goalless draw with Crystal Palace in one of the earlier games played today. Not that kind of season that Chelsea fans were hoping for. Nottingham Forest also beating Brentford by 3-1. Very good start to the season for Forest. Arsenal leading United by a 1-0 at halftime. This game is at the Emirates. If you go to the Spanish La Liga game we are keeping an eye on, is between Celta and Getafe. Getafe have scored in that game.
Wow,
it's 70 minutes played.
Borderlands. That's probably going to be the only game of the
goal of the game. Well, very likely. So Liso scoring in that particular encounter. It's 1-0 advantage Getafe. Now later today in Spain, there's Bilbao taking on Sevilla. The Williams brothers will be in action.
That's a tasty one.
Nico swerving Barcelona, one of my highlights of the transfer window. Espanyol, having lost their goalkeeper to their rivals, will be taking on Atletico Madrid. When you go to the French League 1, as things stand, Stade Brestois, as these days Brest most people like to call them, they were up against Lille. Game ended 3-3, so looks like a pretty good goal fest over there. Angers are currently up against Paris FC. Paris FC are the new rivals to PSG as far as being in Paris is concerned. So they have come from the French Ligue 2 and are in the French Ligue 1 now. So they are up in their game. They are down against Angers in their game. Let me look at the lineup for Paris FC. I'm just curious. So very interesting. Moses Simon sticks out to me immediately. Nigerian winger. Noah Sangoe, I can see. Timothy Kolojishak. Goodness gracious. Last time I saw Timothy Kolojishak's name anywhere was Football Manager 2013 or something like that. I don't know.
2013 is a long time
it's
ago.
Crazy. That's the last time. He used to be a wonder kid back in the day. So that's the last time, like, wow.
Whether his way back into the league.
1450. Yep, some way, somewhere. They need all these newly promoted teams typically like veterans like that. There's Ilan Kebal, Jean-Philippe Crasso. Jean-Philippe Crasso, very interesting name. Yeah. Also, I think he's
Ivorian international.
Yep. So he has also popped up over there. Lohan Doucet, Maxime Lopez, very good signing. French midfielder, played for Sassuolo, I think, for a while. These days plays for Paris FC. Wow, very interesting pickup for them. I like him. I like a very cultured midfielder. Mets are up against Strasbourg. That game is goalless as we speak. Auxerre lead Lorient by a 1-0 in their game. So that's the update on that one as well. Let me see if I can give you a sense of what happened in the games that were played in the PL yesterday, just to bring you up to speed. So in the matches played, I think my favorite game was the Wolves Manchester City game. I liked that game a lot. I liked what was on display from Tijani Reinders. He completely did his thing, scored, assisted, and was the pass behind the assist for one of the goals as well. So literally did his thing. And then Ryan Cherki came in and also completely dazzled as well. So Manchester City starting off the season on the right note. I'm not sure if Wolves liked exactly how that went down, but it was 4-0. It was an away performance. Brighton drew 1-1 with Fulham. Sunderland won 3-0. Spurs won 3-0 as well. Shout outs to Kudus Mohammed. I'm sure the stool will come out very soon. Or maybe we have something new now that we are in a different side of town.
I'm thinking about what he could end up bringing onto the pitch.
Unless Calabash.
Let me see.
I don't know what's going to happen. Charlie, I don't know what's going to happen because then Liverpool winning against Bournemouth. But the guys are coming back onto the pitch.
But speaking of Kudus, I mean, once he bagged the assist, even it became a conversation. Even this morning earlier on TV, our colleague Jude Duncan also brought it up that okay, so I was talking about Kudus bagging a couple of assists in Spurs win over Burnley, and he interjected and said, better than Saka. I was like, no, and he couldn't believe what I told him. But I think, look, from a pure talent standpoint, Kudus is better than Saka.
Yes, I don't know why this is a debate.
You are ranking him from a pure talent standpoint.
They can both do with the ball.
They can do with the ball. Kudus is ahead of Saka, but in terms of production, Saka is ahead of Kudus.
Saka is the more productive player.
Two things can be true.
Yeah,
but in terms of who is the better player, I'll go in for Saka, because at the end of the day, it's not like he's a washed up talent. No, he is a talented player, and on top of that, he produces. But with Kudus, he's a super talent in its rawest form, but the production comes and goes, and that's what he needs to work on to be able to get to that level of being an true elite kind of winger, be it inside forward too. So that's my little bit on that whole conversation that has stirred up over the last couple of hours because of Mohamed Kudus' performance in his debut Premier League game for Tottenham Hotspurs.
And hopefully with a manager like Thomas Frank at Spurs, it should see his performances become more rounded. Because I, for one, have had a problem with his off the ball work, but from the Super Cup game against PSG to the first Premier League game, you can see that whatever Frank is doing with the team is getting. You see him being in the team shape of the ball and making efforts to try and regain the ball when the team is not in possession. So it's nice developments for Kudus. He also did make mention in his interview after the game that the environment is a great one, and he just hopes that the environment can bring the best out of his talent. So it's exciting times for him. Well,
exciting times, and the second half was kicked off between Manchester United and Arsenal Football Club. It's still 1-0 advantage. Arsenal looks like both teams are looking to ramp up the pressure almost as soon as possible, just so they can probably get an early goal. I'm not sure where the early goal is coming from yet, but Martin Zubimendi probably needs to step his game up a little. Yeah, just quick thoughts on Zubimendi and that first half he had. I don't think that first half was as solid as he probably could have had, but I don't know what you made of it.
Yeah, I think it was just okay, an okay kind of performance. Definitely could have done better, at least from the talent standpoint. What he's done in his career so far, played in big games, especially for Spain. Yeah, I think he would have wanted to do a bit better than he did. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't be too harsh on him, considering this is his first game in the Premier League. Totally new environment, and the fact that you are playing away from home, Old Trafford, and you are playing against a team that is quite solid, has very, very good individuals, and is just finding itself as a team. That's the biggest problem with Manchester United right now. Individually, they have some good players, but it's the bit about they coming together to form a unit that can play off each other, can be cohesive, especially when it comes to defending and being able to convert the chances when they do come, once they transition from defense into attack. So, yeah, Zubimendi, I think he's just okay. But at the end of the day, this is his first game, early days yet. I think he should be able to have a good career in the EPL, as long as Arsenal, quote unquote, protect him, because he is who he is. It is what it is. He's not the biggest guy out there. He's not the fastest guy out there, and so he needs a little bit of protection, so that he isn't picked on by opposing teams. And we've seen how so many players of Zubimendi's quality aren't able to necessarily excel because their lack of physicality is exploited by the league. Even the great ones who pretty much proved to be the exception to the rule, you could tell that the team they play for helped them. So, for instance, people talk about David Silva constantly, but David Silva had a Yaya Toure beasting alongside him. He had Fernandinho beasting alongside him, and it helped out. It really, really helped out. And so once you have those kind of help around you, then you can be able to be yourself and produce. And I think with Arsenal, yes, Zubimendi has landed in a spot that is good, in the sense that Declan Rice can do that job. Martin Odegaard does put in a healthy shift. And yeah, once you also have Norgard as a backup, Fabio Vieira also as a backup, I think you're in a good space. And so I expect to see him do better than he did in that first half against Man United.
So Martin Zubimendi, the weight of expectations will arrive when you go to a bigger team, and that's exactly what is expected of him. Well, more updates from La Liga. Celta Vigo are down by 2-0. Getafe have scored again in that game, and it's Uche this time who's gotten the goal for them. So yes, it looks like Cristantas Uche plays his football for Getafe Football Club. He's given them goal number 2. Goal came in the 72nd minute. So looks like Getafe will be taking all 3 points. Getafe won't get 2 goals at this point in time and throw it away. They don't do it. It's very, very not like them. The
result is almost sealed.
This looks like a result they're working away with. I'll be getting to my message box in a bit because more messages have been coming in. I think some of you also predicted or dropped your predictions for this particular one. We'll be getting into it in a bit. Let me get more thoughts on let's say possible changes. Yeah, let me get your thoughts on changes for Ruben Amorim. I mean, after 50 minutes of play, are you thinking that he wants to tweak anything? Are we going to see any guys come on, try and give this game a different direction?
Looking at the pace of the game, I wouldn't be surprised Mason Mount
Young off.
goes off. I wouldn't be surprised Casemiro go off because it's not necessarily about they being bad, but it's about there being options, quality options available, and the fact that you definitely need to refresh the squad as the game goes on, because if they continue playing at this pace, being the first game of the season, you are bound to have some cramps come up. You are bound to have some sharp drop off in energy delivery, and so those are the two changes that I see being made by Ruben Amorim. Defensively, Euro has been fine. Delete has been fine. All of those guys. Luke Shaw has been fine.
Yeah, Luke Shaw has actually looked.
Luke Shaw has been fine.
Hey, Diogo is in the house.
Diogo Dalot. Maybe Diogo Dalot would also have to be substituted and Amad Diallo be brought on. I have my issues with Amorim wanting to play him as a right wing back. I think tactically, the imbalance is a bit too much. And on top of that, I feel like you are wasting his talent. Playing him as a right wing back. That's how I see it. That he has so much to offer this team that you shouldn't be sticking him in that position, and that you should play him a little bit closer to goal to help out with Man United's issues when it comes to getting in goals. And right on cue. Amad Diallo
is being ready.
He's been ready to be subbed into the game, and so we'll have to wait and see which player he's likely to come off.
That's a sub I'm actually very interested in,
especially this early in the game.
For us now.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know about managers who want to wait a long time to make changes. I think that the earliest I will making changes, probably maybe not in the 50th minute, but
Diogo Dalot.
Maybe in as early as the 60th minute, I'm making my changes.
60th minute. I'm with you. 54th minute.
Sometimes a lot of them want to see the first at least 5 to 10 minutes of the second half to see how it pans out. Maybe there might be a change in energy.
If there is no crisis, I mean, I will wait till the 60th minute. If there is no crisis, I'll wait till the 60th minute. And I'll give you an example of crisis. So you look at the 2022 FIFA World Cup final, how Argentina was bossing the game, beating France pretty much easily. Then Deschamps just yanked off Olivier Giroud and brought on Randall Colomwani. And
there was a crisis.
And that it was in the first half.
Yeah.
I think it was 35 minutes or so. And that burst of energy that Colomwani brought to the game actually got France to get back into the game. Because Olivier Giroud simply could not deal with the speed. He could not close down. He could not close down the spaces. The way
Mwani was doing.
The way Deschamps wanted, and so you needed a guy who fits the physical profile like Giroud, but was energetic in delivering the closing down, the high press, and that allowed Kylian Mbappe all the space in the world to be able to operate and deliver as he did, getting a hat-trick in the final. And so for me, those are the changes that I expect to see Man United make. And already he has done one. I thought it was a little maybe 7 minutes too soon. I thought waiting along till the 60th minute will do the trick. But at the end of the day, maybe Amorim sees that Diogo Dalot isn't pulling his weight enough and doesn't want to waste any time to do so. So he's made a change. Let's see how Amad Diallo performs in the second half. I expect him to be a starter, but not as a right wing back. I think that his talent is being wasted with him playing in that position. But at the end of the day, they spent heavy money on Brian Mbeumo, and so you can't let that kind of talent go to waste. And so you have to fix him somewhere in the team, and that's why they are likely to play him as a right wing back. But I believe that he can do way better from an attacking perspective if he's played a little bit closer to goal.
Okay, so that's interesting. Let me see if I can get a few messages.
See how David Raya handled this situation. The same situation. De Ligt was right in front of him. He was wrestling with William Saliba.
Like he punched the ball away.
But Raya was able to punch the ball away. So that's on Bayende. It's all on Bayende. There's no explanation to take him out of the equation. It's all on him.
For us now, I think they will, I want to see how they'll adapt to Gyökeres this season, because
he looks lost.
Yeah, he looks lost in the team. Like I was waiting to mention that. And I don't think it's any fault of his. It's the dynamics of how Arsenal's attack is prior to him coming into the team, and with his introduction, I feel like a few tweaks will need to be made, because he's like, I've not seen that many balls being put into the box for him. So I don't know. Maybe a Madueke can help, someone who will be a bit more wide, because the guys who are playing to his sides kind of like to come inside on their strong foots and take shots off. So I don't know, maybe to change the dynamic, to have one person who open the pitch up a bit more and get to the byline and try and put some things in for him, because he looks kind of lost. I don't really like that. I think he's somebody who thrives on service. So if service isn't being given to him in the box, he kind of looks like he's not having his best day.
Anyway, Orlando Inside, a man from Tipper Junction, says no Arsenal, no Premier League. Where is Nimli? He was talking too much. Uche says, Uche from Carnation says, playing without a striker, right and left ready. Look alive at the first half. Hope Sesko can complete the missing spot in the second. It's time for Amorim to unleash the beast. We might lose, but we cooked Arsenal first half. Amorim ball, United, let's go of Onana, only for them to get a basket. I'm not even sure what that's supposed to mean. Prince says, watch this. United 3, Arsenal 1. Calafiori, Bruno, Sesko, and Sesko. I don't know what you mean by that. JB Nate from Accra says, United, like Hearts of Oak and Asante Kotoko, have lost their old spark, spirit, and proverbial big team status over the past few years. Okay, so Gyökeres is being yanked out of the game. 60 minutes of action, and Kai Havertz is being introduced into the game. Madueke is coming on as well. So Arsenal making 2 changes. Martinelli is off as well. So Martinelli and Gyökeres are out of the game. Madueke and Kai Havertz in the game. Interesting subs.
I would have kept Gyökeres on and introduced Madueke just to see the dynamic of Madueke, Saka, and Gyökeres on for maybe 10 minutes to see how Gyökeres gels with that dynamic before taking them off. But Arteta seems to want to kill the game off, so he's bringing the striker he's known for the past season and trusts. So.
Yeah, that's a very interesting decision. I'm not sure if that. I don't know how Gyökeres feels about his own debut, but what do you make of the changes?
Oh yeah, the Martinelli bit, I like it. He wasn't effective in the game. I wouldn't say he looked lost, but he was ineffective. So there was no point keeping him on the pitch, especially when you have good quality options there. But by bringing on Madueke, you are not necessarily addressing the lack of width with the team, because at the end of the day, it's a left-footed player who is going to be playing out on the left side, but which helps on orthodox winger. But on the right side is Bukayo Saka, who is still going to be operating as a inside forward, inverted inside forward, or an inverted winger, and not necessarily give you the space that you need in terms of the width. And Ben White doesn't necessarily run as much as, let's say, a Reece James or a Trent Alexander-Arnold on the overlap to also open up space down that flank. So, yeah, that's a bit of an odd change for me. Yes, Martinelli needed to be yanked off, but a player who is a bit more right-footed should have been able to be brought in and have Bukayo Saka switch from an inverted winger to an orthodox winger. Then you have, let's say, Leandro Trossard or Gabriel Jesus be the one lining up on the opposite side. And yeah, in that sense, you create a situation where you have your orthodox striker with orthodox wingers who will feel free and be feel a bit easy putting in crosses early.
Yeah.
Rather than having to cut infield before they can be able to do so. And so yeah, that for me was a little bit odd, but maybe Arteta is looking at a situation where he's looking to feed into a situation where that strikerless front three, because now Gyökeres is off, so it's Kai Havertz, Bukayo Saka and Madueke. So he's looking to feed into a situation where Kai Havertz's intelligent runs off the ball can stretch the defense, Man United's defense, which has already been under a lot of pressure because there's a lot of space in behind Casemiro. And so you want to stretch it a little bit further, then have Martin Odegaard run into those spaces and feed off those balls that will be laid into those spaces and maybe grab a goal or two. And so maybe that's the thinking behind those substitutions. But yeah, if I had to pick one, I would have kept Gyökeres on for a little bit and rather taking off Martinelli.
Well, it looks like we'll see Benjamin Sesko also pretty shortly. He's been warming up for a bit. We've crossed the 63rd minute mark. From all indications, he will soon be coming on.
Well, he wasn't. He was standing next to Amorim. I'm sure that'll be soon.
It looks like he's receiving his final instructions before he actually gets onto the pitch. So the big name signing is probably coming on soon, and Manuel Ugarte, I believe, looks like he will also make a run out onto the pitch. But the lowdown here is that it's 1-0 advantage Arsenal still at Old Trafford. It's an away game, so if they get to take 3 points away from here, that would be a massive 3 points to begin the season.
Oh yeah, 6-4.
Look at Benjamin Sesko. So yes, finally making the entrance into his first Premier League game. Mason Mount coming off. Looks like Mason Mount has done
all 3 substitutes I predicted.
Very interesting. Yeah, snap thought. So the changes have been made. What kind of change are you expecting them to effect on the game?
Okay, now you have your typical old school throwback striker, but with new school attributes, in the sense that yes, he can hold the ball up, he can play as a target man, but at the same time he can drop deep and be able to link up and play with his teammates, and he has the ability to dribble past a couple of players, defenders, and he packs a powerful shot too. And so yeah, you are getting, like I said, old school throwback kind of striker with new school attributes, and that's what you need to be able to thrive in the modern game. And the fact that they brought on Ugarte for Casemiro is pretty much simple. It helps out with the mobility a bit. Man United have had issues closing up the spaces whenever Arsenal are with the ball, and they move the ball quickly. And so, yeah, Ugarte will help out with that, because Casemiro, his speed is quite suspect these days, and so he can't be able to close it down. The only downside to Ugarte coming in would have to be if he will be able to keep the ball just beyond 3 seconds. Yeah, that's the
You mean that's the benchmark for him?
Yeah, that's the bit about him, because Bruno Fernandes will let the ball go. He will spread it around. So you don't need another player who's super eager to just also let the ball go, because once you do that, you have 2 of those players doing so, you are virtually bound to give possession to the opposing team. And this opposing team, that's Arsenal, they are equipped with players who can hold on to the ball. Zubimendi can hold on to the ball quite well and pick a pass. Odegaard can hold on to the ball quite well and pick a pass too. Declan Rice is a little bit less patient with the ball, but even him, he is a bit more patient than the 2 that I mentioned on the part of Man United, and so it's a problem. So all that Ugarte would have to do, aside the defensive coverage issues, would be to be able to hold on to the ball just a little bit, exude a little bit of confidence, have the vision or the awareness to be able to read around him and know where the tackles are coming from or where the pressure is coming from Arsenal, and the timing to be able to release it on time and get the ball rolling for Man United, as in contributing to sustain attacks and to sustain possession. That's the only bit of worry that Ugarte has to deal with for Man United. Once he's able to deal with that, I think Man United should be in a good spot to be able to either maintain this performance that they've delivered so far or improve on it and potentially get a goal.
Let me give you some updates with regards to Premier League transfer. So some transfer news was made official. Nordi Mukiele signing from PSG for Sunderland. Premier League clubs. That's a very interesting one. From RB Leipzig, PSG, now Sunderland. Right back, left back.
That guy is a powerful,
can play centre back as well.
Powerful player.
A little as well. So I'm very surprised he's going to Sunderland.
Sunderland has made really
underrated signings.
Yeah.
It's because I think Mukiele, because of what happened to him at PSG. So he flew under the radar of a lot of teams because once he went to PSG,
he didn't cut it.
He just didn't cut it. It didn't work. It absolutely did not work.
Yeah,
it absolutely did.
And all the playing time goes to Hakimi anyway. Yeah, so you are expected to be sharp when you get your few scraps. I mean, I don't know how that's supposed to work, but very big signing for Sunderland. I like him for them. Still very young. I think he's just about 24, 25 years old. Yet to even hit his prime. Okay, so he's 27 years now. Represented Stade Lavallois, represented Montpellier and RB Leipzig, and then played out with PSG before coming out here to Sunderland. So Nordi Mukiele for Sunderland, big move. I like it for them. A lot of people are completely having a fit over that Gyökeres debut, saying that he completely wasted everybody's time. I'm not sure if that.
Come on, it's one game.
It is one game.
I mean, guys, we're wrapping it up here. Let's put some concluding thoughts to this. Who wins this game? How does this game play out? I
don't know. The longer the game goes on, it feels like a game that United might just nick a goal and it's ending the draw. It just feels like that type of game because I don't think Arsenal are doing enough after taking the lead to want to kill the game off.
Yeah,
I want to see how the game progresses now. Both of them have made changes because Arsenal's change will change the dynamics first of their team because they were leading the line with an all and out striker with Gyökeres, now bringing Havertz, who's a bit more involved in the build up, and United have kind of switched over to that. They started with no recognized striker and now have brought one in. So I think they've swapped out what both of them were doing at the beginning of the game. So I just want to see how it progresses. It just kind of feels like a draw in the wait.
Draw in the waiting. Arsenal look like they're going to make more changes. I see Julian Timber, Miles Lewis Skelly getting ready to come on. Timber receiving a lot of instructions from the looks of it. Your final thoughts on
it? I side with Adam perfectly. I think it might just end up being a score draw because I think Arsenal are quite set with defending and seeing out this game with this lead. And with Man United, I've seen a few incursions from Brian Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha to believe that, yes, as you rightly put it, they can create something out of nothing and create something for themselves. And they did so just a couple of minutes ago. It's unfortunate they missed the chances that they were able to create. And so I think I see one of those chances ending up in the back of the net and Man United being able to get on the score sheet, and that will pretty much even the tie. And I see it ending that way. So score draw for me.
So score draw is what Yao is predicting. Adams possibly thinks this will end in a draw as well. I think Arsenal should be able to hold on to this. I will be disappointed if they don't. I think United have played better on the day and probably deserve to have gotten a goal, but some way, somehow, don't look sharp enough up front. So, very interesting game so far. Let's take a quick break here. When we come back, we will wrap up this particular episode of the Republic of Football. Do stay with us.
City 97.
Follow us on Instagram with the handle Ghana Weekend, on X Ghana Weekend, on TikTok Ghana Weekend, at Ghana Weekend TV on YouTube for the latest in entertainment, travel, and everything Ghana. Don't miss out. Join the Ghana Weekend family today. Ghana Weekend, where entertainment meets creativity. Visit GhanaWeekend.com now.
Hello everyone! Prices continue to drop at Electroland Ghana Limited. CDA Picky promotion on Samsung, TCL, Media and NASCO Electronics. Get a NASCO 24-inch LED flat for $899 Ghana cedis. Starting from 2,999 Ghana cedis, you can get 6 kg NASCO washing machine plus a free gas stove. And the Media Inverter 1.5 HP R410 Unicool split comes with a free blender. And when you purchase 65, 75 and 85 TCL QD Mini LED 4K TVs, you will get a free TCL FHD Smart Android TV. Now buy a Samsung 578, 582 and 636 liter side-by-side refrigerators and walk away with free microwave grill. Go to our showrooms and dealer stores across Ghana now. Call 050-315-9739 or www.electrolandgh.com for inquiries.
Are you searching for a world-class conferencing facility to elevate your next event? Do you need a bougie look for that all-important corporate, board meeting, or private social event? The Alisa Pavilion has an unmatched capacity. Our expansive conference center comfortably seats 1,000 persons in a theater-style setup. This makes it ideal for large conferences, product launches, weddings, social events, and exhibitions. There are 2 executive boardrooms set up for your high-profile meetings. With the importance of seamless technology integration, our facilities are equipped to support your audiovisual needs. Looking for an oasis of bliss? Saunter into our Oasis Lounge and Bistro on Thursdays for Thirsty Thursday, while you enjoy a whopping 15% discount. Make a date for Saturday Barbecue, where we have alfresco dining for nature lovers in our lush manicured lawns, while you savor lip-smacking dishes. The Alisa Hotel Pavilion, where great minds convene and beautiful memories are created. Alisa Hotels, our Aquaba means more than just welcome.
City 97.3. Accra.
Welcome back. We're live on the Republic of Football, 97.3 City FM, YouTube Channel 1 TV, City 97.3. It's 77 minutes played between Manchester United and Arsenal Football Club. It's still 1-0 Arsenal. Goal scored by Ricardo Calafiori off a corner kick. Error by Bayende. Ball spilled into his path. And it was a simple finish for him. Let me see what's going on social media. Let me see what the fans are saying. So I'm going to search for the name Yorkeres in my social media feed just to see what the Word is on my guy. Charlie, I have just seen something from Troll Football, and they have Robbie Lyle of Arsenal. I don't know if Robbie is doing a dance or is doing a run up some staircase. So
I don't know the picture you're talking about.
So it's basically Robbie climbing some staircase. Oh man.
Nah, they shouldn't do this to my man. Like, they shouldn't do this.
So more so according to the BBC, say Gyökeres did not record a shot nor a chance created in his time on the pitch. Welcome to England. You can go in the Portuguese league and not record a shot and come back with a hat trick. The next, nobody will talk.
I was speaking about how Arsenal have a way they play.
So 21 touches, 9 passes, 0 shots.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
I think
that's from the Athletic.
It's the first game. I feel like Arsenal will have to grow. Like, he'll have to adapt to the Arsenal team, and his teammates will have to adapt to him. Because Arsenal used to not having someone who is a focal box presence. It's something that people will complain about.
It's not in the team's DNA.
Yeah, it's not in the team's DNA. There were a lot of times during even the Madrid game that they won that they could have killed the game off earlier on if somebody was
in the box.
Because a lot of crosses came across and there was nobody on the end there to finish. But now with his addition to the team, I think they will have to get used to, like, creating chances with that thought in their head that we should put things in the box because somebody will be there to get at the end of them. So I just think it's early days yet. Gyökeres is a really talented striker and a good finisher. I think they should take it easy on him. I mean, the Premier League doesn't have time for you in any way, but it's too early to
well, I can tell you for a fact that if you get purchased for over 60 million and you move up from an averagely paid footballer to an elite paid footballer, the scrutiny is weekly. Nobody cares if you just arrive. And you can go and ask our good friend Florian Wirtz. Liverpool won, and he's still feeling the heat of not dropping an assist or I thought he had a very decent game.
Someone called him Lil Uzi Wirtz.
Exactly what's going on. He had a very decent game. But people are cooking up all kinds of names for him already. So it's not, nobody cares. Nobody really cares. So for Gyökeres, toughen up, boy. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. So you need to toughen up. That's just what it is. Arsenal have a free kick in a dangerous position. Let me see how that is. Then you can go on.
Quite similar to what Man United had in the first half.
That we thought Mbeumo
should have taken. So it will be interesting to see how they
Odegaard is
this
pretty
one.
decent with these type of things.
Okay. Probably take it.
Okay, so they went
Same
with the
type
Man
of
United style. Yeah.
I mean, look,
with the right-footed player taking
these
are
are
for
left
lefties.
I'm surprised that you see all this woke football stuff.
This is
Man,
That's a lefties.
back in the day, you placed this here, Gareth Bale. That's in the back of the net. Like, why are you doing this?
I think it's easier to defend when it's right-footed than a left-footed. Because
Exactly.
Even when it's left-footed, he can bend it, or he can place it
in the far corner.
Or he can place it in the near corner via banana kick or an inverted banana kick.
Too many options.
Or he can slide it under the wall. If they bite, if the wall bites, he can hit a snapshot that goes under the wall, quickly under the wall, carpet kind of shot, and into the net. So I think there are more options and better options to go with the left-footed player than to go with the right-footed player from that angle.
I'm not sure what they were.
And if you're right-footed, it reduces the options and the angles at which you can kick into.
If you can score from that angle as a right-footed player,
then your technique is insane.
I'm not sure what they were trying to do over there. I'm not trying to just do the simple things these days. teams like to overcomplicate the simplest of things.
That's a smart way to end a free kick. Well played, Amad Diallo.
I need to get one of these Arsenal jerseys. I've decided.
They'll come for you and
No,
be
I need
asking
to-
you why
You
you're
need a new
wearing.
one.
No, I need it. I need it. Sorry.
really?
No, but it's a really good.
No, the jersey is popping.
Yeah,
I can imagine the few things I can do
I like
with
the
it.
Brentford. The Brentford.
Which one I took?
jersey.
The
The one
blue?
they played with. Is it
Yeah.
Their away jersey?
Burgundy or something. I'm not too good with
What they
colours.
play with against
Yeah,
Liverpool.
against Brentford, the one they used against Wolverhampton.
Wolverhampton.
No, Nottingham Forest today.
Nottingham Forest today. Oh yeah, that's a nice case. That's it.
I
And even-
really
and
like
even-
that kit.
And even Forest home case, that case itself is a really good.
But
case.
I like the Brentford kit. I really like the Brentford kit. It's just brilliant. I really like
Arsenal
the
Football
Brentford kit.
Club still have some defending to do. 83 minutes of football played. Game is gradually winding down, and I mean from everything we've gleaned, there haven't been a lot of stoppages, so I'm not sure that there will be a lot of time added on. Maybe
Arsenal just defending through this at this point.
yeah, I mean,
84
as at the
minutes.
70th minute, you said they wanted to defend and see this, and that's exactly what they are doing.
I mean, you look at the changes that they made. Made. It was clear.
Yeah.
It was
and
clear.
the fact I think people keep forgetting that Arsenal have been one of the better teams defensively in the league in at least the past three
The past
seasons.
three
No, you don't
seasons,
hear much of them.
Yeah, the
defensively.
past 3 seasons they are. I think they are the best.
Probably the best defensive team
probably
in the
the
league.
best. Year on year, when you put it all together, they are the best.
Yeah,
the best.
definitely
They
been
are
the best in the last
best.
3
Yeah,
seasons.
they are defensively. They are very good. They are very good.
Rastaman Dogu is holding his knees.
Yeah,
Might
he's
be time to
tired.
go.
He's tired. He's tired.
Might be time to go.
He's tired.
Yeah.
He's tired.
Look, this has been a very
because he-
high intensity.
Yeah,
game.
because he's run a lot in this game. He's done his job very well. Always made himself available on the overlap, and created space because of it. And so it will be only natural that on the first day of the season, you will be a little bit short on breath. 85 minutes into what has been an intensive game. So
Let me run you through some more updates. So the Getafe and Celta game has ended. 2-0 is how that game played out.
Borderlands.
Yes, Borderlands has done a thing. Opening game, clean sheets, 3
Clean
points.
sheets. 3 points.
That's the most away from home as well. It doesn't get bigger than that. I mean, he's done the job. It's 86 minutes played in the game between United and Arsenal, still 1-0. Earlier, you have Forest beating Brentford 3-1. Palace holding Chelsea to a goalless draw at the bridge. There's Athletic Club Bilbao and Sevilla to come, and then we also have Espanyol versus Atletico Madrid. When you go to the French Ligue 1, Stade Brestois 3, Lille 3, Angers have beaten Paris FC by 1-0. So Paris FC losing their first match as they return to, or as they are playing the top flight of the French Ligue 1. Auxerre have also beaten Lorient by 1-0. Holding on to that 1-0. It's 9 minutes of time. I don't play, but I think my feed here is a little quicker than my screens here. So my feed says the game is over. Metz and Strasbourg are also done in their encounter. 1-0 is how that game ended. Advantage Metz, the away side. So big away win. There's Nantes versus Paris Saint-Germain to come at 6:45. So that's a game that French football lovers will be looking up to. PSG begin their league title defense against Nantes. Pretty big game that one is. So that's how we'll be keeping an eye on that particular encounter between PSG and Nantes. So we'll see how it goes. But so far, Arsenal hanging on just about. They have just about 2 minutes of regulation time to hang on to, and then we could talk about time added on. But it looks like they will just have enough, because United have been toothless, completely toothless. I don't think Raya has had to make any serious save in this game. Maybe I'm
in the first
maybe
half.
in the first half.
Yeah, in the
yeah,
first
couple.
half, yes.
those Mbeumo and Cunha feeble
strikes.
shots.
Yeah, but aside that,
Aside that, yeah.
both these have not really been up to their game when it comes to the final pass.
Yep.
Yeah. the
Chance
final-
creation in this game has been almost zero, literally zero. I'm not sure how the fans of both teams are perceiving this. A lot of people
United are making incursions, and this is the latest one.
Ahmad has a thing. He has a thing for scoring late goals, or even sparking a chance that scores a late goal. So let's see. Yamoussoukro Messi.
Yeah, that pass just took the bite out of the attack. It was played a little bit behind Bruno Fernandes.
Yamoussoukro Messi is what they call him. Yeah, let's see if he has a few tricks up his sleeve, because as at now, tick tock, the clock is just winding down very quickly. Not going the way of United. This is a big chance. Not happening for them as well.
Ball is just bouncing all over in the penalty box and not falling at the feet of any player in particular.
Sesko wanted to line that
up. I was just about. Have you liked what you've seen from Sesko so far, guys?
Has he even touched the ball?
No, he's touched the ball.
But I mean, it's been all about Mbeumo, Amad Diallo, Cunha. So
look at Lenny Yoro and how high up the pitch he's gotten. Anyway,
okay. Now the cross has come in. He's attempted a header.
I've seen him take it down, hold it up a bit, and do some.
Yeah.
So interesting.
See, that's Delete doing it.
United have had to basically move their line all the way into the opposing half just to be able to get a goal out of this.
That's a very crucial block by William Saliba.
I'm telling you,
because that ball could have ended up going anywhere. It could have ended up going anywhere, and the fact that he did so without committing a foul in the penalty box, because he got a little bit of the ball. And that's a very good tackle from William Saliba.
So we are into time added on in this one between Manchester United and Arsenal. United, the home team, are still in deficit in this game, down by 1-0. So we still wait to see if they can get something out of this.
Goals. It looks like it's going the way last season, most of last season went, where Man United, they created chances but they couldn't score, and this issue, pretty much in terms of chance creation, has been compounded by the fact that when you look at last season, the top chance creators, Bruno, like I said, led the charts. In fifth place was Brian Mbeumo. 13th was Matheus Cunha. So you have three three players who ranked among the top 13 places in chance creation last season, playing for Man United and playing behind Benjamin Sesko. And so, this time around, there shouldn't be any excuses when it comes to the goal scoring issues, if they do tend to have one. And so, Man United, they've done their bit when it comes to trying to fix the bit on the goal scoring issue. It's now down to the players to be able to
put the
get
ball
the
in the
job
back
done.
of the net.
And because at the end of the day, there's nothing more that the board can do or the owners can do.
You see, you scream back us.
This time around,
we are not technical people. We will back you based on the reports you provide us.
This time around, if let's say it doesn't work out, you can't turn around and blame the Glazers or Ineos, Jim Ratcliffe. No, because what they needed to do,
they have done their part. So you do your part.
They're not even done. They still actually want to do
Baleba.
Even if they miss out on getting Baleba and maybe a goalkeeper, just the offensive side
they literally overhauled the team's offense.
They've done their bit. So you can't put any blame on them at this point in time.
Now you also keep up your end of the bargain. Looks like Miles Lewis.
I commended William Saliba for that block that he had on Matheus Cunha. But I also, while we were talking, the league delivered an absolutely brilliant tackle to prevent Bukayo Saka from getting what would have surely been Arsenal's second goal. Very, very good clearance by Delete. And now Manchester United again have a free kick, and they should do better. I'm looking forward to see Bruno Fernandes try to pick out either Harry Maguire or Benjamin Sesko. If it doesn't end up on the head of one of these players, it will be disappointing.
Well, let me also tell you that we will be bringing you the Bese Manche Homowo Charity Cup between Accra Hearts of Oak and Pando Hearts of Lions. That game is at the Accra Sports Stadium. Kickoff of that particular game will happen in a bit. So we'll be bringing you live coverage of that particular game as well. So do stick and stay for that one. But we're still wrapping up on the Republic of Football here on 97.3 City FM and Channel 1 TV. It's the big game of the weekend between Manchester United and Arsenal Football Club. United down by 1 goal. It looked like Arteta is trying to be calm, like, he doesn't care, normal win. Guy, you're excited, don't do that.
But you see, that's the frustrating bit about Ugarte, as we just witnessed on the screen. Man United pin Arsenal deep in their own half. A ball bounces around. Yeah, Kai Havertz was quicker to the ball than Ugarte, but you need to stand off him and not just go barge into him. He did so. He barged into him, and Arsenal got a free kick. Pressure taken off.
I don't like saying this, but Ugarte plays some very low IQ football sometimes. Like
that's very low IQ.
That's literally it.
That was
like
very low IQ.
You are literally being nice with them.
You need to sustain the pressure, and you've just done what.
We're looking for a goal. Like, why are you doing that?
It's so clear that Kai Havertz has got you beat for pace. He got to the ball first. Just back off him. Don't go lunge in. He goes and he lunges in. Kai Havertz gets fouled.
The whole momentum just killed.
Momentum done. Like, oh man. For
I
an
get what you
experienced
mean,
player,
man.
you shouldn't be making these kind of rookie mistakes. If it's, let's say, let me see, Aiden Heaven, if he makes that kind of mistake, yeah, I'll take it. But I always play for PSG, Sporting Lisbon, and no, you can't be making these kind of mistakes. And spent a fool
this Jadon Sancho already. Jadon Sancho look alike, holding his head in the crowd.
light skin Jadon Sancho
holding his head in the crowd. Anyway, United have a thing for drama. Let's see if we can get some drama before this one wraps up.
Less than 2 minutes to go.
Looks like David Raya is in control of that situation. Just a couple of seconds to wrap it up now.
Yeah, but so far good outing for Man United's
new boys.
New boys. I mean, Sesko.
Oh, look at Bukayo Saka just leaving. Wow, how did he miss that? Bukayo Saka just left in Burma in the dust.
The most tired. I mean,
you could tell that he's done his last breath. That's the word. Itole. He's like tired. He couldn't go anymore.
The man is tired.
Saka just turned him inside out.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah,
turned him inside out.
That was nice. I feel like, I'm not sure who was on the end of that ball, but I think it was Madueke.
Yeah, Madueke.
He should have finished that.
Yeah, he should have finished it off. I mean, you don't get.
He was trying. The ball fell. The ball fell in a manner that needed him to use his right. He was trying to use his left foot by force.
Yeah. I also don't understand. Just use your weaker foot and see.
A lot of lefties have that problem. So it's all over at Old Trafford, and Arsenal will take this one back home to London. This is a huge win for them. 1-0. They barely ever win at Old Trafford. It doesn't happen a lot. So they'll take this 3 points. Calafiori, that goal scored early on in the game is the goal that they are still going by.
I want to request though. I think the song we need to leave the studio with is Apeke. Just
if we can find it in time, it will be a good way to sign out. I don't think that's bad at all. Concluding thoughts on this.
Yeah, Arteta has delivered another win for Arsenal at Old Trafford. I mean, like you put out the stats that Arsenal have just before this game. They had just 2 wins out of 18 meetings at Old Trafford, and both wins have come under Arteta.
Mikel Arteta, he's done it again.
Now this is the 3rd win in 19 games, and so it just shows you the kind of input or imprint that he's been able to get this Arsenal team. And yeah, it had to be defensive. It had to be a bit dogged. It had to be a little bit labored, if I can put it that way. But at the end of the day, they got the job done. It wasn't pretty. Their new signing didn't necessarily excel. Zubimendi had his issues. Gyökeres had his issues. Noni Madueke missed a very big chance. Even defensively, he had a chance to clear the ball and take the pressure off Arsenal. He ended up kicking the ball up in the air and going nowhere, more or less. Sambe Wami, that That's what we normally say. And so, yeah,
I
so,
like that.
Yeah, so the boys,
you need to have played some cold football to hear that.
Yeah. So the new boys didn't necessarily excite. That's for us now. But at the end of the day, they went to the template that has been able to get them to second place 3 straight seasons in a row, and that's the defense. And if you play 4 central defenders, line them across the back, that's the kind of performance that you want to see. This is the kind of results that you want to see. You get a win and you get a clean sheet. And so for Arteta, I think he'll be just okay. Yeah. He knows that in time, the new signings will come good. But for Man United, it just highlights another problem for Man United. More or less, it's a take 2 steps forward, take one step back, because they've taken 2 steps forward with chance creation, doubling down on chance creation by bringing in Mbeumo and Cunha. They've taken a step forward by bringing in Benjamin Sesko to address their woeful attack. But it looks like they've taken a step back because they haven't addressed their goalkeeping issues. And it looks like they also might end up not addressing their midfield issues and getting an upgrade on Ugarte, a player who picks up all the weaknesses of the 3 players that they have in midfield, in their central midfield department, and put it all together and turns it somehow into a strength. Because Ugarte, his ball possession is a bit suspect. Game IQ also suspect. Casemiro, it has to do with mobility. Yeah. Kobe Menu also has to do with mobility and a lack of positional discipline or tactical discipline too. So you need a player who comes in and addresses all those weaknesses. And so, Man United, they've taken 2 steps forward, but they still have another issue that or multiple issues that they have to address. But if I'm to pick between the two, as in address the central midfield area or the goalkeeping position, I'll go in for the goalkeeping position, because what Bayenda did
and what Onana would do,
Onana is likely to do. Look, address that position.
You might have to spend the whole season picking between the lesser of 2 evils.
Address that position. I think once they do so, 3 out of 4 areas of concern, they should be more than good enough to be able to get back into Europe. And I'm not talking about Conference League. Either
get back into proper
Europa League or Champions League.
I like that.
What does that mean? Those other ones?
No, proper. I mean, let's be serious. Conference League, come on, man. I mean, you're on the conference. We know what it is. Let me not even get into it. Let me not get into it.
I just feel like Arteta will be really happy with these results today. Old Trafford is not a place that they usually win at. So getting a result like this on a first day, because games like this usually accounts for points lost. Maybe you might get a draw or whatever, but he's done the job today. I'm sure he will want his team to look much more smoother with Gyökeres addition. So there are pointers that I'm sure he wants these guys to work on. And for United, their new signings didn't look bad on the day. I just feel like if they can turn it up just a little bit more, today they look good. I felt like they were largely the better side, but they couldn't put the ball in the back of the net.
That's the more painful part of it, being the better side and not getting the win. I'll just
before we run out of here, this happened just about 45 minutes ago. Jacob Ramsey has officially been confirmed as a Newcastle player. Nottingham Forest also wrapped up the signing of Omari Hutchinson from Ipswich Town. That's exciting. And Newcastle, it is feasible that they might end up going through the season without having a proper striker, because they have a lot of options when it comes to wing forwards and
false nines
because they have Harvey Barnes, Anthony Gordon. There's Anthony Ilanga. There's Jacob Murphy in there. They brought in Jacob Ramsey also in there. And so Joe Willock is also coming back from injury. So it's possible that in order to fit all these players in the team, it's possible that they might just go without a striker.
Yesterday, I saw them. They need a striker. They should stop it. Anyway, thank you very much, J. Vita. Thank you very much, Adam Kai.
But I would recommend that they go in for Randall Kolomani, because he fits that profile that they
We'll see. Bernard Abekuache will come your way with the Bese Manche Homo Peace Cup. That will be live on Channel 1 TV. K Mafo will be with him to break that game down. So we'll be taking leave of you right now, and then when we return, the Homoa Peace Cup between Accra Hearts of Oak and Pando House of Lions will be live on Channel 1 TV. Stay with us here on the broadcast. It's been absolutely amazing coming your way with this one. We are signing out, and then there's more football action happening.